they like it or not. I mean, fun and just entertainment. There we go. Ooh. Hello everyone, I'm AD Swinger, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and this is another session of 2D20, DUNE, Silvanus, Agrestis, and Salutaris. Last we had left off, Salutaris continuing its investigations into the activities of the false graph, who turned out to be some sort of face dancer quite definitively when he changed into their short-hired doctor, Sook Doctor, and attempted to effect his escape, but was recaptured once again. There are questions to be answered, and ploys to be uncovered, and worst of all, the Imperium carries on with its own ploys and misunderstandings. What exactly is going on this moon, on this planet, the new moon? Off to. Nope. Thinking it's here. It's yes. Here we are. Oh, actually, you guys are still in investigation. Yes, the very last thing that had happened was that Falscroft and Erica III had been consulted by Colonel Octavia Nightshade, the former cultist of the Redeemer Inquisition, and was off to meet Mil Moonshadow and Silvanus Johanna Murshid at Fortress Landing. As for the good treasurer, he is in deep and thorough talks with the Chom agent Ivo Sarkin, so he's available for the time being, attempting to secure a very particular avenue of success for the house. But yes, and I should have our house still. Go.
Could you tell me exactly what the treasurer found out from his Chom contact last time? We know that it was Mortani funneling some money apparently to the Falls Graph. Was that it, or was there more to that? Because he did report, I believe.
That's what you get from the report so far. There's more that Cream Kabata is looking into.
Okay.
But that's the big thing of it, is that the money that's been, the extra finances that the Falsgraf had was coming
from House Alaka, actually, which is a minor house under Mortani. Is that right?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yes, that was the narrow down. That it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Kareem had made a deduction on his own that House Mortani was the ultimate reaching over, but he was working through somebody, and then he found it through Agent Ivo Sarkin who that somebody specifically was. House Halaka is a house that is loyal, that's supposed to be loyal to House Kaz.
Oh, right, because they do the blood tree harvesting or something.
Yeah, they're the ones that make the Alaka drug and various other things.
Oh, hence the name, I guess. Okay, let me.
Oops.
Okay. Okay, in the Houses of the Lancerad book, I have House Alaka listed under prominent minor houses under House Mortani.
You'll want to read the entry for them.
Okay. Okay. There it is. Okay.
What is
Sorry
it?
about that. Unbeknownst to Lord Whatever of House Ikaz, House Alaka is secretly loyal to House Mortani.
Ah.
So we need to be sure and inform our, what do you call it? The big house over us, whatever you call it.
Well, I mean, we don't know that, I guess, right?
This is you
Well,
in
that's
world learning that Alaka's up to something shady. Because up to this point, House Alaka has been supposedly doing what it's supposed to
Right.
do. This is the first time you've heard of treachery.
Now, when we left off, wasn't Mill about to try and interrogate the creature?
That was one of the plans.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was the next thing we were looking to do, but that was in the plan.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I think I'm caught up now.
Oh, and that's gone away. Wait, no, it's for this espionage.
Yeah, I still have the stress that I encountered earlier in the investigation, right?
Yeah. Do you,
Okay, thought so.
you mark how much you have? Because I don't have it on your token anymore.
I do. It's in my bio section. 1 sec, I'll check.
Sure.
Bio and info. I have 6 stress to my understand score.
Okay.
Which means I have like 2 more
Oh, wait, that's right.
available.
And Joanna has 2, but only in regards to attempting to go after the spy master of the Redeemers again.
Yeah, well, it's because it's attached to this larger investigation. You could be shoved out if you don't get your stress down.
And how do we go about doing that?
You pay me money? No. Here's a way to do it. Don't heal. Power on through until someone goes. Please. Recovery there. So get your stress, other than just ending the conflict.
Yeah, all I'm seeing, like under that, act, defeat, and recovery is actions by your teammates. See below, but I'm not.
Oh, okay. So aiding an ally. So yeah, there's no way to really get rid of it until you've been defeated, and then someone can, as an action, try to aid you and pull you out of your defeat. They do something to get you back in.
Gotcha.
Okay, so like, what if for the rest of whatever this scene, conflict, whatever it is, none of us take any more stress? Do we just, does the stress just sort of hang out there unless and until, even if we go into a different scenario?
No. Once you go into a new conflict, it's a new stress track. It's a new problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't have the stress from when my character got shot the other session anymore, because that conflict is over.
Even the fight, even off the heels off of the fight with the face dancer, that damage would go away, because that stress track is whether or not you're still in that fight in particular. So each stress amount is linked to each conflict. That's why you two still have stress for this conflict, because you're still doing an investigation. I believe you guys are still doing an investigation into false graph.
Well, now into the face dancer and stuff, not so much into him.
So, who would like to act first? Three of you. You can't discuss because you're all in the same place now, so you can't discuss what you're doing.
Yeah, I was about to say, we need to, actually cover the false graph and learning.
Right, because we just called her back without saying anything over open top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
why are we on the
Okay, should be on the active espionage page.
I was on the active intrigue, and it was that Council Grove place. But I refreshed, and I'm on the right place now.
Okay, good.
So yeah, Joanna will be sure to be on hand to meet the false graph and
yeah, I'll come in to meet both of you.
Yeah.
And I'll ask, as the false graven enters, what is the important issue you have called me over?
I have to forgive my circumspection, but I didn't want to give out too much information over an open comms channel. We have discovered that the false grafen, not actually the false grafen, but instead was a face dancer trading house. We managed to, with the help of Dr. Jorg, we managed to subdue and restrain the face dancer, and besides physical restraints on the immediate body of the entity, we also Marshal Moonshadow has placed him in a specially secured interrogation. Further, Khalid, through his contacts, has learned that money has been being secretly funneled to Allsgrafen, and Joanna will use air quotes there, or the DUNE equivalent. Quotes. And money appears, at least, to be coming from or through House Ilaka.
Erica will tense up and say, if that creature is not my husband, then where is he?
Indeed, one of the questions we must try and answer.
Not one of, the most important. Erica says, all of the house is at your service to find him and return him.
Was there at any point after a separation where you noticed some oddities or inconsistencies in his normal behavior? Usually, even with prolonged study of an individual, it takes face dancers some time to fully mimic the person they're impersonating.
GM?
You're looking at an opposed roll here. It'd be understanding. Flying 2 dice right out of the gate. Want you. That's when they
It's
stepped in.
opposed.
Yep.
Okay.
How many did you spend, GM?
3. Not enough to break threshold, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna suggest duty because Erica's relationship to the false graph is primarily one of exchange and business. So it's probably a lot more of was this person doing the things we've agreed to almost as a transaction, right? Rather than was the person I'm spending, half of my day with every day different.
Mm-hmm. I follow you.
Courtier, because there's a lot of traditions around the court in particular that it takes a lot of time to learn to do correctly.
True, especially when every court has its own little mini rule, and he'd have certain mini rules from his house as well as your house.
Yeah, did you see? He took 3 steps after adjusting his fork, not 2.
Why does that
Ghastly.
matter? Well, there's an ancient ritual that said the guy who took 3 steps got assassinated. If you take 2 steps, you don't get assassinated. It's a dumb rule, but you just do it because it's been done for over 1,000 years. Gonna buy any dice?
Well, I'm gonna ask. Any help from the asset fortress or the consort? Because the consort's also someone who would see the false graph not as regularly as Erica, but still be around.
And she's been your consort for as long as you've been married, yeah, more or less.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd say she gives you a free hit because you'd be able to kind of consult with her and go, hey, you notice anything weird about the false graph? I mean, he's always weird. No, I mean more recently.
And then my suggestion on Fortress is I'm more aware of everybody's movements within the fortress broadly. So it's like did I notice
the early changes would have happened on
okay.
Otherwise, yeah, if they had swapped here at Fortress Landing, then yeah, cameras and guards and stuff.
Okay, so I guess this is an indicator that the change wasn't here on the fortress.
Correct. That you can get for free because otherwise the asset would fire.
Oh shit, this has been going on for months. Months or years. Erica may be finding out that she's never actually married the real dude.
Are your children especially rubbery?
Oh god, I don't want to get into that.
They bounce back. Don't worry about it. Always been really good about their hair cutting.
Yeah, it's like, did you get your hair cut? It's like, no. And walks around the corner, comes back out. Yes. I'll spend 1 because I think I've got 2 hits, so 1 threat.
I have 1 free hit because he's an imposter. That's great.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give you 2 more.
One of the few times the trade actually fires for me, or it makes sense. Probably could have done it right before, but that's what I get. Two, 3, 4.
Same.
I have a comp you don't. It's to you. You think back, and you remember while you were visiting with House Alaka for one of the for a reclamation of one of their farms. You and the false graph had been separated for some time. He was handling one problem, you were handling a different problem, and that wasn't unusual. That just happens in war. Not both noble. And honestly, for the house's future, it's not great for you two to be in the same place too often during a war, even if it is a war of assassins. Because one bomb takes out both of you, rather than attack each of you individually. It's around then that he started acting a little weird, but at the time you kind of waved it off because you were kind of different too. Like that was probably the most intense it ever got, because that's when they started using some Alaka drugs and gases and stuff, and you started seeing the effects of those various battle drugs that the enemy got control of for a short while. So it was pretty brutal fighting. So the fact that he was acting weird didn't seem weird at the time. But thinking back on it and talking with Galia, the Lady Galia, it's there's different, and then it was just like little things. There's certain phrases that he was known to say, and there's certain Frioli traditions about battle that he didn't observe. Now, from Lady Franca Galia's point of view, that's just that makes sense. But to you, that's when everything started being different. There's variance in humanity. Humans change. That's when there was a spike in him acting weird even after that, and then he started acting like Bastiana Frioli that you knew.
Then Erica will say, we had visited House Alaka. There was a period where I thought maybe the stress of a war of assassins had begun to change him, but he returned to himself shortly after. I might have mistaken the stress of conflict for the time it takes his face dancer to change into a person.
Just normal. How many people worry about that?
That would have been an ideal point for the change to be made. And again, we see House Alaka. This may also explain why one of the most active organizations apparently spying on us is the Beni Teliatsu. Not at all unusual for a face dancer to serve the Teliatsu equally are above and beyond whatever other faction they've been hired to serve. Assuming that the Bene Teliaxu themselves aren't behind all of this.
I'll have to talk with the treasurer. Need to know if it's possible that House Alaka could afford to spend the amount of Solaria needed to have more than one face dancer here.
Sorry,
I doubt it.
I have to pivot here. I screwed up the lore. Catch it too far away. Check something. I might have screwed up timelines. My Dune, but still, I want to try to stay. So if it is written, then it is. If it's already happened before you, ahead of you, you can screw with the timeline all you want. I'm not supposed to screw with stuff before you. Okay. I just made the warp assassin earlier than it was supposed to. That's okay. I can fix it. So, yeah, no. So one thing that I do, even though I do have to make the warp assassins happen earlier than it did lore, here's one thing that I did screw up. So this whole war between Mortani and Ikaz started when the Duke Vidal of Alaka tried to assassinate Duke Leto Atreides' entire family when he tried to marry into House Ikaz. So there was like a huge wedding massacre that happened at Castle Caladan, and that's what started the whole war in the first place. So retcon a bit for Erica's backstory, you wouldn't be defending Alaka, you would have been trying to attack Alaka. Other way around.
Okay.
Thought I'd clarify that.
So
House Alaka's,
they've been an enemy for a while.
Yeah. That's where I screwed up.
So at this point, their work for Mortani is in the open.
Yeah. And Atreides is very aware that they're the reason why that happened. It's a known thing. At least for your side. The other side will contend to the lands, right? No, they got it wrong. Which, or the assassins will see truth one way or the other.
Okay. That makes things a little more direct and clear.
All right, then. Kind of refocusing a bit, Erica will say, I will begin working on a petition to the Lanceron. You need to find me irrefutable evidence of Ikaz's treachery. And then we can transmit our intention to violently, if necessary, extract the false graph. If he is no longer alive, because it has been so long, this has been years. This has not been months. If he is not alive, then we will instead extract vengeance as appropriate, according to Conley.
So, in addition to establishing a case, am I correct in assuming you would also like us to prepare documentation for the declaration of Canley in case
No,
it's needed?
I will handle all of the communication with the Landsrod and House of Kaz, but I
Understood.
need the backing your skills can provide, information, evidence.
Now that we think we know that the imposter has been here since your return, would you be willing to grant the Marshal and I unfettered access to the false Grafen's quarters, records,
You mean the
etc.?
false graphs?
The false Graf, yeah. Sorry, there are too many F sounds.
You can call him the shapeshifter or the face dancer.
The face dancer, right?
Buster.
To his spaces alone, yes. To our shared spaces, if you request in each instance, then yes.
Thank you. That will make our jobs significantly easier.
Now GM Erica has to go through the extreme emotional struggle of figuring out, well, first of all, being married to someone who's not actually that person is probably terrifying in its own right. The second thing is, was either son conceived after?
Younger.
Oh.
Oh, this just got ugly.
Oh no. Then Erica will sit down looking 1,000 miles away, and kind of zone out for a while.
Joanna will walk over and gently place her hand on the false Graf's shoulder as
Erica
token.
will throw it off.
No.
Because she's impulsive.
What of... Joanna will kind of straighten herself and say, what of House Frioli? How certain are you that they are not involved in this infiltration? Frioli, the false Graf's house.
I'm not. I'm not sure about your opinion, Falsgrafen, but I say if we suspect everyone until the evidence leads us to rule them out or in.
Erica stands up, face red as can be, impulsively grabs a table, throws it over, and is gonna leave. I will spin the momentum to have Lady Galia activated in Erica's place, because we might be able to get answers out of her, but not gonna get anything.
Erica the Third's having a really bad day.
Mill is just going to watch her go. I do not have enough rank to interfere in that.
Technically, it's destruction of property as a crime, but then again, it's her property, so she can do what she wants with
Yeah.
it.
And besides,
Well, we'll
you-
summon.
it worked for
people.
more than a few of the figures in the Orange Catholic Bible, so.
Oh, actually, GM,
Yeah.
would you give me one of those determination for violating a statement?
It's being compelled to act as that statement when you otherwise wouldn't.
Okay. You want to compel me to go kill the face dancer?
Hold on.
Because I'm about to.
I can be advised, but my word is final and absolute power.
No, that's power.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That'd be how I'd force you. Because
Oh,
the
then-
statement's what's making you do something above and beyond other stuff.
Then yes. Well, no, because isn't the correct operation of the power statement is that Erica's will is absolute. Don't you try to subvert that and use the
No.
opposite meaning?
No.
Or no, you force me
Dune,
to.
In Dune, I'm trying to make your statement punish you. You would act
Okay.
otherwise. You might act against your self-interest because that's who you are.
And it makes sense here because last session you were so careful to leave the investigation in our hands and kind of be hands off. Or
You've been leaning
legal
into your
propriety state.
justice statement pretty hard, not your power statement.
Okay, then yes, I will do that. I'll at least start heading that way. I don't know. I don't want to.
Well, I mean,
Well.
that could be your turn to try to go over there and kill him. Does anyone try to oppose it?
Well, then I guess I'm not gonna give you the threat for.
That's true. I wouldn't
Yeah.
get that.
I don't.
Oh, and
I don't-
you only took one. No, she's 5 to activate.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't
I'm not
know
gonna
that
tell
we would
anybody
know,
until I
right?
get there.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're obviously very upset. You threw you had a little tantrum and walked out, which is very Erica. So I don't know that we even know what you're up to.
Yeah, we don't.
I am. So for one, Erica, you get a determination point because you've. Normally, I would throw a compel at you. You asked me for a compel. I'm like, I agree with you. That's a good compel. That's still a determination point.
Ooh, unless hyper awareness might kick in here.
I would let you roll, not to oppose, but just to see it happen, to see if you even could oppose. Let's call it understand. We'll call it difficulty. Normally it'd be difficulty 1 for you, but it's difficulty 2 because Erica's fairly impulsive, so even Erica might not realize that she wants to do this until she's out the door, and then the light bulb's gonna hit her. But you're gonna see the light bulb as it's firing up, so to speak. Very Betty Gesserit hyper awareness thing. You know
Okay.
they're gonna kill somebody before the thought enters their mind fully.
Truth.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't have any momentum. Take 3 threat for 4 dice. Let's see if I can do something here. One day I'm going to have to actually get an understand focus, but it is not this day.
Yeah, same.
Well, I'm thinking like analysis, since that's very spy mastery, or deductive reasoning. That would be even better. Okay, not a fumble, so there's 3.
Shoot, I have physical empathy. Damn. I should have
Oh,
used
that's
that.
awesome.
Oh well. My bad. I forgot I had that focus. I took it last session. Like, I took it as my upgrade last session, and I forgot I added it.
So yeah, Johanna kind of twigs to that. There's just that you may not have seen Erica a bunch, but you've been trained to see the signs of violence before they come to you. Training Bindu is all about prediction. Is about predicting. It's about self-control, but hyper-awareness is you see the threat before it becomes a threat.
You see Joanna's eyes widen, and she looks at Mill and says, I think Erica's about to do something very stupid. Quickly now. And I take off after her.
I will also follow.
See if we can't catch up with her before she starts doing whatever stupid thing she's going to do.
So yeah, Erica, you step into the medical area. Oh, not even the medical area. He's been moved. The false doctor is restrained in multiple wide metal straps. His face muzzled, his head pinned down, and he's in a very special room that's usually reserved for special training for like gas attacks, poison attacks. So it's a very enclosed, sealed room that, on top of that, had some extra stuff added to it to make it hard for someone to get out. And just as you're stepping into the room, you see him there. Conscious, supposedly. Strained, definitely.
But we know what his unconsciousness really means. Sneaky face dancing son of a bitch. I want to play one.
He's not conscious, right?
Supposedly.
Erica will cut the restraints first. Draw the pulse sword and cut the restraints.
Snap. Snap. Mill and Johanna can hear the hum of a pulse sword as you're running and turning up a corner and running some more.
Damn it.
As he falls to the ground, I guess, I'll point the sword at him and say, "Stand and die, or lie and die. But death is certain."
That is a line upon which Mill and Johanna kind of step into the door with a pulse sword pointed down at a thump of a collection of a person tumbled on the ground, hands still kind of bound, feet still bound, but they're free of the table they were strapped to. Face still muzzled.
Erica, no! Answers are more important than vengeance.
Does he respond? Or is he actually out?
He does not respond. Whether he's actually out is unclear. You get beat up pretty bad. Might be actually out.
Yeah, the doctor gave him a really good sedative.
I would hazard to say that this sounds like a mini intrigue moment of having to talk Erica down from. I have compelled Erica with the.
What does that mean?
So it's opposed roles of, I would say communication for whoever's talking Erica down, and for Erica, I don't think it's communication back because she's not trying to convince you of nothing. She doesn't. Well, communication could be one. I am the ruler. Shut up. It also could be discipline. Like you're trying to focus on your vengeance outside of anyone, no matter what anyone says. You're just no. I'm not fear. Fear is the mind killer, but it's sort of canly. I'm going to kill this person who's sort of mindset. You're trying to zero in. So that's up to you. I will say no momentum's gained from this because it's PvP, but you can spend momentum and threat because you're both players.
What's your communication, Mill?
It is 6.
Okay, you're lead because you're 1 point better than me.
Oh dear.
And this,
Okay.
basically, this will be a multi-stage. It's like a combat of sorts. So whatever discipline you're starting off with, that skill is your stress track. So once you get enough, and each time you succeed, you do 2 damage to that person. So for Erica, it's a little harder to get those 2 to back off because she has the more. Let's say you get enough that Moonshadow gets stressed out and backs out. She's still there. She's just not part of the conversation anymore. She has no way to really continue talking. So it turns into just Johanna and Erica until eventually one side gives. If Erica gives, then gives. If everyone's okay with that and understands how that's going to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then because they're in the zone already, I'm going to have my retainers help me out here, because Lady Galia is loyal, and the War Master is ruthless. So I think they both,
Yeah.
for different reasons, be pulling for everyone else not to get involved. So I think that increases the amount of damage I can do. I don't know if I can use both of them, or is it just one of them?
You're either using them to help you with your roll, or you're using them to do damage. But you'd only be using one of them for extra damage.
Okay, then I'll use Galia to help, and the Colonel to inflict damage. And I will be using Communicate because Erica is trying to express how terrible this treachery has been, that it is almost incomprehensible to someone who hasn't experienced it. Power? Because I mean, that's the whole reason this is happening. All right. I'm not going to buy any dice, but I will use the determination you gave me.
Yeah.
On
Your power statement.
Actually, for a talent, I will spend to buy one dice.
With?
Because, threat. Because I have to spend at least one. I don't think diplomacy or innuendo really work here.
You're being pretty straightforward.
Just to point it out, well, okay. I was going to say, as defender, you would probably roll second after you've seen what Mill decides to spend. But
it's not going to change my mind.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying for calculations of dice and whatnot.
So that's 5.
I will spend also on power because my argument is going to be, you can kill him, just do it after we have a chance to interrogate him. We need the information.
Power must be used wisely and cleverly. Violate?
And
Joanna will assist with duty, because what she's doing now is letting the personal affront and damage she suffered blind her to the larger issues and the damage to the house. And as a leader, it's her job to put the house above her personal concerns. And again, we need to interrogate it and find out everything we can about this plot against the house, because we are not born to serve ourselves alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy 2 dice. GM, you can take 2 threat and the
You mean
momentum.
3 threat?
I think. Oh, 3 threat. Yes. Sad face like this. I just really think we need this information.
Yes. I don't know. How-
I forget on assist because it's been a while since I did an assist roll in this system.
You're
Does
leading.
the assister roll first, or okay, I roll first. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Because I
main
can
roller
only
rolls
roll-
first because these just need not bother because I won't affect anything if they gain.
Right.
It's nothing.
But you got something. You got several somethings.
3, 4. Nice.
Oh yeah, GM. I used the focus of neurolinguistics there.
Yep. So I believe the false graffin got 3, 4,
5.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ah.
It's 2 stress. It's the false graffin's ploy.
Oh no.
And this goes against drive or skill?
Skill.
Okay.
So you are using communicate. What's your communicate?
8.
8. So you need to do at least 8 damage. Currently you've done 2. You can spend 2 momentum or combination of threat and momentum. 2 momentum to do 1 additional damage.
We would be in a communicate duel with the best communicator in the group.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we work.
Mm-hmm. You wish to do the additional damage, or do you wish to continue the fight?
2 for
conflict?
1.
2 for 1, yep.
It's up to you, Mill. You're leading.
Yeah.
I think we won't spend.
Yep.
I think we'll hold off for now.
I will use subtle words to, for free, create the trait upon Mill of something like empathic anger, like being able to start to understand the depth of the false graffin's anger.
Fair.
Conflict continues, one presumes.
All right, I'm not going to do anything different, except this time I won't be using determination.
You're buying a die with threat?
Yeah. So that is 4 successes.
Because of the Lady Gallia arguing with you as well. I imagine she's pretty pissed too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't. Right. There could be no formal relationship between her and the false graffin because the false graffin was apparently married to a face dancer.
Yeah.
All right.
Whereas the colonel's
do I
giving
want-
helpful suggestions about how you could kill him even more painfully. You know, the rack. You know, crucify him. Like-
I'm satisfied with the. But I'm satisfied with the pulse sword. That's fine.
Which, you know, pulse sword's good. It's quick. It's efficient. You don't use it much time. Like Octavia's is maybe not angry about it because no horse in the race, but also, well, he did a wrong, and the lawful ruler's killing a traitor to the house. Yeah, sure, kill him however you want. Yeah, want help? You want me to hold him down or something? Like, thanks, Colonel. Thanks for chiming in. You're a great help.
I will buy a single die on this.
Threat.
Yes.
Oh, and before you roll, you probably want to know this. My intention with empathic anger is to get another free hit here. Right, because they're starting to understand the argument. That's what I would like to use the advantage for. If it or
Yep.
the
I would
trait for
take that. So be aware of that. You may want to stay. They currently
that's
have,
not 4. That's 5.
That's 5 currently. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to my world when the false prophet does that to me. I'm like, ah.
I love
subtle words are strong. It's great when you can communicate your problem. If they're trying to stab you, you afraid of me? I am afraid of you, and I'm still gonna kill you. Aw.
You can take 2 more threat, I guess.
I
Set-based.
started with 3. 14.
They give you threat to get those AP.
My argument is not against the anger. I think the anger is in fact warranted. What I will be saying is we need to make sure that we don't miss a chance for justice against the ones pulling the strings of this one.
Fair enough.
Once we know where the investigation is going to lead us, then you can kill him however you want. I will certainly celebrate your right to do so. I'm just advising that it's not likely to be helpful to recovering the false graph if we cut off this source of information. Oh god. That was awful. I'm gonna spend my determination for the session on that one because I think this is important.
Yep. You are acting within your thing. Within your statement.
Still power. 3 days. No focus. That's better. I'm gonna roll my d20 right now so I don't forget to see if I save the... Nope. Why can't I roll like that in D&D? I swear.
That's 4 against
Anyways.
5, but there is an assist
Wait.
rating.
Assist coming?
Yes.
Same basic argument that her duty to the house should outweigh her personal feelings on this matter. And yeah, sure, we'll kill him later, but...
Like, by all means, kill him however you want.
Wow.
Coming in clutch.
Yes. Very clutch.
That's 6 against 5. That's another 2 damage. 4. One
Hey.
more. Conflict
Now we're about
continues.
even.
There we go. That's better.
I will add the trait on would putting a trait on Johanna help in the task since they're not the main roller?
It would if she assists. If she doesn't assist, it fades away. But if she stays in, then we'll add it. The trait will be there.
I will put the trait Tenuous Trust that Johanna might get the impression that fighting too hard here could break any bond with the false Grafen. So there's light ground to be tread.
That's +3 to the false Graffin's roll current. Or only +2 if the Penny Jesuit stays out of it.
And I will give you a threat.
Red eye. Subtle words opponent is annoying because they just build up stuff like that.
Yeah.
Since I'm having a trait used upon me as an assist, can I try and counter it with one of my traits, my personality traits?
You could try, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because it's because you're trying to help out. Yeah, you could, because it's yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to counter the Tenuous Trust trait with a couple of things here. Okay, one first up is spy, because oh no, you don't trust me. You might not trust me. I'm a spy. it's kind of, you know, that's not something that's really going to, you know, stop her from doing what she does.
But would it bother a spy, you think, to not have to lose the trust of the ruler that employs them?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let me try Reverend Mother of the Bene Gesserit, because I'm doing what I think is right. And God help you when the Reverend Mother of the Bene Gesserit has that kind of thrust behind her. And while it might bother a spy,
It wouldn't bother a Reverend Mother. No, yeah, no. I'll take that.
okay, so that kind of negates at least one of those traits.
Because you have an out. You could retreat. If it really got to, I'm going to execute you if you really push my buttons too hard. Like, I'll just retreat to a cathedral.
Right.
I can just leave. And you're kind of okay with that. Which, there's a scary, here's a scary tension that's building up in this cramped room in the fortress. As these four
I
people...
quit. Now I'm the Reverend Mother. Right?
This is where Hans Zimmerman would really just get right into it. No, that wasn't who did the do. Anyway, sorry. I'm diverting. That's +2 still to the False-Grafen.
That's a total of 4 hits for her. Okay.
Sadly.
Well, maybe we can pull it out.
Here's hoping. I really don't want to give you any more threat.
Hey, but he's got a spin threat for us to get that sweet XP or AP, whatever it's called.
Fair. Communicate power. No, not truth. Power, Sarah.
I do.
Okay, take 6 threat on spending for a full minute.
Okay. Yikes.
Sob.
He's got real.
Oh, good.
Passion Marshall. 3, 4, 5, 6. Puts us to 6.
Question. Do these count as over difficulty 3 rolls for
No, because this is
Erica?
PvP stuff. You guys are
Okay.
self-inflicting
Yeah.
It was worth a shot.
this.
Sadly. Pardon the yawn.
All right. I will create the trait upon Johanna of Bene Gesserit alienation. There's a chance here if she's not careful that House Silvanus could
Salutaris.
House Salutaris.
Oh, sorry. Beleza. Freaking brain.
Yeah, House Beleza. Sorry, House Beleza could slip from the grasp of the Bene Gesserit.
I'll counter that with Clan Mother with no clan, the Clan Mother of all clans, being the standing among the Silvani, which is going to be difficult for House Beleza to ever really disentangle themselves from.
Trait for trait. This is getting intense between these two. They're pulling out all the threats at each other. Threaten me, I'll threaten you back. Like, okay. Even Octavia's starting to get a little uncomfortable with this conversation. It's like, should I be here anymore? This is starting to get kind of personal. Although she seems happy with the idea of the Silvani tribes being...
Yeah, welcome to a family argument, dude.
Yeah, really. Can we all just go to church and pray to why the Silvani should be destroyed? I mean, for the good of mankind.
Take your threat, and that's, I think, only 3.
Yep. Do you wish to suffer a complication, or can you give me 2 threat?
I'll take the complication.
I'm gonna say communication rolls. You are. I'm gonna throw out depressed. This is starting to weigh on you. It's gonna weigh on you even after this conversation. So it ups your complication range for communicate.
For how long?
Until it is treated, or until session ends. I'll say.
Okay.
It's like an injury of sorts, in the DUNE sense. But yeah, you're staring at 3 there, Marshall.
Right.
Should I be here too? No, I have to be here. It's my job.
Yeah. I really want to question this guy.
Like, okay, you two are getting really personal all of a sudden, but carrying on the conversation.
Yeah, totally a family argument.
All right, take 1 threat.
All right. I said I, darn it.
Ooh, good.
It is 8. I will point out, you can, once per conflict, avoid a defeat, resist defeat. When you do, you simply aren't defeated, may continue the conflict. It costs 1 momentum or 1 threat, and you suffer a complication. To resist defeat, it would cost extra if they're using some asset to empower themselves. But right now it's just a straight 1 threat or 1 momentum if the false grappling wishes to push on and resist defeat.
So, when a character does that, and the conflict continues, what happens if they get 2 more damage done against them after resisting defeat? Is it just take them back to 8, or what happens?
No, they just stay at 8. They just if they take any damage after that, they're defeated.
Okay.
It's kind of a last push to go. I'm gonna try to do 1 more. I'm gonna try to survive a little bit longer to escape or move or continue fighting. That's up to you, False Griffin. I can't compel that.
We learn new stuff every ep.
The false griffin will angrily order the guards to restore the restraints.
As the guards resituate the changeling, as it were, into their restraints.
And Erica will go into seclusion for now. And now I'll give you 5 threat. Question is, do we need Gallia more or Nightshade more? I think for now, Gallia.
Wait, you want to have the Swordmaster trying to help with an espionage investigation?
Well, she's the War Master. The Sword Master would also be a terrible idea for an investigation. He's done nothing but run at his problems with a sword, and that has nearly killed him twice.
Which Swordmaster?
Yeah, that is a sword master.
And Joanna will kind of retreat behind the mask of the Reverend Mother to kind of control her inner turmoil until she can get back to her quarters at the end of this long day and have a little mini breakdown for what just happened with her beloved cousin.
Nightshade gives you two a look, and she looks like she's gonna say something.
And I give her the Reverend Mother eyebrow.
She seems to be looking at your hair more than your eyebrow. But she kind of looks at the Lady Gallia and straightens out her countenance and stays ready at attention if need. Actually, she's not an asset of Gallia, so she'll walk right off rather than continue. Because she's about to confront people, but there's a witness, there's a asset of the ruler here who might tattle on her, so she's not gonna do anything. She wants to keep her job.
Come at me, bro. I wouldn't use the voice on my cousin, but.
So the espionage continues. That was pretty good.
So
Or
we need to find out the depth of Ikaza's treachery. So
Ilaka's. Too many names, too many houses.
So I think Gallia has been there. So Gallia is going to offer to escort the Reverend Mother to Ilaka. Otherwise, she will be heading there to do on-the-ground investigation. Well, I guess the Spy Master does the investigation. I mean, the Marshal does the investigation on that guy.
I would warn that the lands of House Alaka are still hostile and in the midst of the War of Canley. Mind you, I will point out, on top of that, House Alaka has been greatly reduced in the battle, in the War of Assassins, because, well, the Duke was killed recently. So, yeah, they're kind of in the midst of their own, they're kind of really, they're reeling currently.
And Gallia isn't a noble, so that I'm going off of the personality traits of inquisitive and daring.
Mm-hmm.
She's willing to go take that personal risk and be, and go as a spy, right? Go undercover. She's not going as a member of House Beleza,
Right.
but going as just a commoner.
I need to get certain.
I would argue against that at this point because we have players in the system here that are still masked. Like we don't know who. I always get these two missed. Not Moritani, but Malvolus's new supposed sponsor. They're no longer. Rumor has it. We think they're no longer working with Ikaz as their sponsor like the rest of us. So. I think it would behoove us to find out if maybe we've got somebody working for Moritani or even potentially, I guess, Alaka in our own backyard first. And we know for a fact that the Beni Teliaktu have been actively spying on us here. So we might need to spend some time rolling that up or at least securing the house from them before highing off to go after Ilaka directly. And it might be that we can get at them in another way. But anyway, all I'm saying is, from the spy master's perspective, she thinks that there are too many still masked players right here at home to lose one of our valuable, in non-game terms, assets to a very dangerous undercover operation. Not before we find out some things first.
Who wishes to act in this in the espionage first?
Do we want me to investigate the dude?
Yes.
Like interrogate him? That's the next action?
I would suggest that be one of our first things.
Or
Yeah,
get
that's what I'm
stabbed.
Like, that way we can expedite figuring out what he knows, and therefore also expedite the false scruff and being able to take her revenge.
So you wish to investigate the restrained shapeshifter in the special room.
Yes.
How do you intend to do so?
Communicating interrogation. I'll ask the doctor to revive him. Enough for a conversation, at least.
Might want
yeah,
need the doctor activated to do the action to wake him up.
Yeah,
shoot.
which I'm willing to do if you'll remember to, as part of your interrogation, ask if you can find out who he was really working for. Like, was he, saying he was working for Ilaka while actually really feeding most of the information to the Biddy Teliaxu, or what? And if so, what they're up
that is
to.
my intent.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, are you going to use your turn for that? Because I was going to say.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to.
Yeah, I was going to say if the GM will let me, because I haven't done anything as Galia yet.
You could do that, yeah. That'll eat
Uh,
Galia's turn, essentially.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the
Your
cost
turn,
of
really.
yeah, because I was going to say the cost of Galia and Yorg are the same, so I'll just not activate her and activate Yorg instead.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a thought, yeah. We're gonna call this a difficulty 4 understand roll. Would have been 5, but you're the one who knocked him out, so it's a lot easier for you to bring him around again.
That's sneaky. Letting us do it with a support character, we can't get the AP. I see how it is.
Understand duty, because he's been required to do this. This is a good question. Is there an understand focus that is routine medicine? Because he has emergency medicine and surgery, and I'm wondering if the book has something for routine medicine, or if this would fall under one of those.
I didn't see one. You can check behind me.
I guess the question is moot if you would take emergency medicine or surgery, but if you wouldn't.
I wouldn't, since you're just waking someone. Yeah.
Afraid of Sook Doctor.
That I would take. That trait would reduce. Sook doctors are better than every other doctor in the Imperium. Even the worst Sook doctor is miles ahead of every other doctor. I'm an A+ student. I just didn't get valedictorian. That's all. It's like, what? Are you all A+ students? Yeah.
Actually, since he's not trying to learn anything, right? This is just a memorized action. Might I ask for discipline instead?
You could. Yeah, that's a decent argument.
And then a precision or composure because this is a dangerous guy who's tried to kill him.
I would take that, yeah.
Okay, I'll take composure duty. Or, I mean, discipline duty with a composure focus.
Unfortunately, you have 0 ranks in composure, so... not a skill.
All right, and I'll spend that momentum. And as he does this, York will say, Marshal, I request you limit any procedures to non-invasive while the patient is in my care.
Difficulty was reduced to 3 or 1 short currently.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you'd put it. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, it would have been difficulty 5 brought down to 4 because he's the one who knocked her out, and then you brought it down to 3 because you're a soak doctor. Mind you, with that target number and skill, that was buying 1 die wasn't unreasonable.
All right, determination on I will apply for the benefit of the sick and injured, all measures required, because it would actually be better for him to be unmedicated. The medication was an unnecessary medical requirement put on the patient, right? So this is actually removing what the doctor might see as an unnecessary medication.
Yeah, he's like, I only did it to keep you from attacking me, but you're restrained now. You don't need to be.
Yeah,
You don't need to be knocked out
it'd be
anymore.
more healthy for you if you weren't unconscious currently.
Yeah, I'll take that. Gained 1. Target is awake. Do you wish to keep the initiative?
I would think not. We already spent so much.
Yeah.
Let him burn a little.
Somebody attempts to take an action. Buying a full mit, have your AP.
Woot.
Hell, you can go ahead and spell in 2 full meds. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get extra dice, sure. No, but no. So they are attempting to do something. They are trying to move secretly into Fortress Landing. The difficulty base is 2 to move at all. However, there are Fortress Landing itself hard to get into, so that brings it up to 3.
There might be a Spy Master bonus that applies here. Let me go to the Lance Ride book real quick. There it is. House rolls.
Oh yeah, you've increased difficulty by 1 because it's an espionage attack.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's difficulty 4 for him to sneak in.
Nice.
See why I bought a full mix. I knew this would be hard. Get in. Or that's what you're doing. That's the focus you're using. Huh. So up that number. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just hit it.
The camera pans to someone making a quiet inquiry at a certain little cottage hidden out, little manor house hidden out on Salutaris. They get a quiet car out to Fortress Landing, and they grab a change of clothes and secret themselves into Fortress Landing without any. But mechanically, I have moved someone. I am.
And that someone's not an asset.
Yeah, that someone is not an asset. That's a person. I am going to keep. Do I need to keep if I move subtly? Well, I do need to keep. Does it cost me anything? It doesn't. It costs me 0.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to keep because subtle.
Another one's going to try to do the max. Actually, you're already in. I don't need to go. Do need to get here, though. Move of 2, because there's nothing here that could stop me. I don't want to fail, so I'm going to... Another full mint one. I have another AP. Nice. Oh, it's up by 1 because you're a spy master. You exist.
Right.
I
do exist. You told everybody about it.
1. Just 1. No, I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
3 threat. As another person makes quiet inquiries at a certain manor house, and they secret themselves into the spaceport. The turn goes back to players. I will say that to explain the why you, the players, know this is that is that your characters in world may have suspicions that there are other actors working.
Yeah.
So there may be people moving stuff around. Still, you don't feel you're safe yet because you're still hearing about movements and stuff like that. You haven't really found the answer to your problem, so you know there's people out there who may either want to compete for the answer to the problem or wish to rob you of that solution. But it goes to Moonshadow or Johanna.
You mind if I go, Moonshadow? You're muted if you're trying to.
Shoot, sorry about that. I said go for it.
Okay. So Joanna is going to try and basically lock down the Fortress Landing, basically run a counter-espionage sweep, because as before anybody moved, she was already talking about potential incursions, particularly by the Beni Talaxu. But yeah, so Fortress Landing, let's try and make sure that we've got rid of anybody who might be.
Are you trying to establish a trait to make it harder to do stuff in here, even harder, or are you trying to maybe catch someone who's hiding?
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of like we did with the Redeemer Inquisition when we did the counter-espionage sweep, is trying to turn up any infiltrators or devices kind of thing.
Very good. Yeah, so this will be an opposed roll then.
Okay.
I am going to buy a full mint.
Okay.
Am I allowed to give access to Johanna the asset of the fortress, so they have they actually get the bonus?
You can do
momentum
that,
from
yeah.
it? Yeah, so I'll being that Erica is basically in a fugue state at the moment,
All right.
she's left control of the fortress to Johanna.
Ooh.
I'm going to spend 2 threat to note that the target you're looking for has a special type of disguise that's making it hard to pick them out from other people.
What kind of disguise could it be, I wonder?
He's got he's got a very good beard.
That's right. Okay,
Quality
so
to beard.
understand truth, and I will spend my determination on I will discover the truth. I will find out if anybody is trying to infiltrate our home. And I will spend 1 momentum and 4 threat for a full med of my own.
Good.
4 dice. Focus. Okay. Before I roll, will other memory come into this at all?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Be aware, the enemy is benefiting from a trait, so I have 1 free hit from the gear I have, and 1 free hit because of the trait they have.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Trait of spy.
Yes.
Okay.
So we basically match each other in our traits.
Okay. So here is my roll. 6. Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4. But I have a comp in you. You have done 2. No, you've done more than 2 espionage damage. You've done 4 because Fortress Landing is involved. 4 counter espionage sweep. Is that more than I have in my skill? No. So what's happened? You get rumors and reports that there was somebody who was supposedly not supposed to be here, and then when you look into it, it's like you're chasing a figment of a ghost. So you haven't figured out precisely who it is, but you have a feeling somebody's here that isn't supposed to be. You're just not sure where that person is, but you know they're probably somewhere here in Fortress Landing. So you're aware that there is a major actor in Fortress Landing.
So, would it be another action to, I don't know, alert the guards or something? Like,
yeah, you could use the guards to
like basically up the security level, kind of thing.
That it would be an action to do that.
Okay. I do think we ought to keep here to maybe give you a chance to maybe get some information just in case things go sideways with this very good spy who's amongst us. So I will spend. Can I spend threat?
You can, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you 2 threat to keep.
Okay. So, time for the interrogation, I guess.
Okay. What are you trying to learn from this guy?
Who he's actually working for.
This is another set of tasks to beat this person, but this is an intrigue battle. It's just that it's in the middle of your espionage battle, so keep that in mind. So if they do defeat you, that just means you don't get the answers you're looking for, but you're still in the espionage because they're trying to out intrigue, trying to get you to think that they don't have anything to tell you or you can't get information from them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you start talking to the doctor, the false doctor, in his restraints.
I'll go power as my drive.
Yep, I'd take that.
Cool. I will use my interrogation focus.
Full mit. have another AP.
Okay. I will. You can take 3 threat. I'm buying 2 dice. Crap. Well, we get an AP for it.
1, 2, 3,
Marked.
4, 5, 6.
Versus 2.
Sorry. 4, and you get another AP because you failed a high difficulty check.
Yes.
Wait.
Wait, I was doing hearts for that. Itself. Oh, that's what it was. This. And he's gonna spend 2 more threat to do additional damage. I doubt 3 is equal to your power. Oh, your power, to your communicate.
3 damage to communicate, you say?
Yep.
Okay. I shall record in my bio. Just because there's nowhere on the main sheet to take notes on that.
Goes to bad guys, I believe.
Yep.
Well, now my friends are doing what they're doing. I'm going to be a little more circumspect than I'm going to try to find someone to hire here in the criminal. Difficulty 2, because I'm creating an asset. I'll spend... this roll, not that roll. That means I did get 2. Create an asset. I'll mark him as such that he's acting through Mr. Purple Pink. That is his turn. Everyone who can... well, this guy could act. Face answer can. He's going to try to argue with Moonshot. He's going to try to be helpful, quote-unquote, to Moonshot and answer all her questions. He is cooperating. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's totally this. Believe me. So he's continuing the intrigue with you. Hold it. I'm running out of thread here, but we'll try this hard.
Can I argue for defending with understand? Since I have physical empathy, I'm
yeah.
looking for tells in his language.
Very well could.
Okay, then I shall. And you can take 3 threat. I shall defend this with power. 4 dice. Yes, focus. Excellent. Dang it.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. So that maxes out my understand stress. And then 1.
Does it max out your communicate? 'Cause that's what started our little
Oh,
tiff.
it does not. Even if he spends for extra damage, it does not.
He would, yeah. So that's worth pointing out. Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, scratch that.
Uh-oh.
It does knock me out.
Yeah, you try to interrogate him, and you get a lot of information that ultimately, yeah, there's no. I will say you can resist defeat in this, but you'll be at your max. He'd only have to do at least 1 more damage, but you could try to resist defeat in this interrogation, because otherwise he's about to tell you stuff that sounds correct, but later when you try to use it, it's just going to turn into nothing. It's not going to be useful information.
I will try to resist.
Okay, you resist defeat. There's no. You would give me threat or momentum. So in this case, you give me threat. Also, you would suffer a complication, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Do you wish to do that? Still.
Yes.
Figure out your complication. Probably the most tense friggin' in espionage interrogation we've done for a bit. Started. I will say that you're suffering from the communication complication of disconnected. You're starting to feel a little out of your depth in this whole scenario. This has become far bigger than what you're used to, Marshall. So it's getting a little hard to connect all the dots together.
Okay.
Everyone has acted. Bad guys acted last, therefore good guys act first. You guys.
I think Joanna will go ahead and go unless anybody's got something they really need to do first.
Go for it.
So yeah, now I'm going to try and make their lives difficult by upping the security, the threat level in the fortress landing, putting everybody on high alert. I'm also going to deploy my wealth asset to give me a bit of a boost here. Finding this person could result in a reward and a bonus for exemplary service for the house. And that's not just for guards, but for any sort of, servant or whatever who can help with this.
So wealth will act as an asset that makes it harder. You basically turned your wealth into a hostile defensive asset for the poor guy. To create the heightened security level, I would say it'd be battle or communicate difficulty 2.
Well, that's definitely going to be communicate. Communicate duty.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. Yeah.
Let's see. How many dice do I want to buy? This guy's really good, so I'm going to buy a full mit, so take 6. Neurolinguistics for a focus. Convincing people to, hey, this would be a great idea. Stop this guy.
No.
All right. That's the only shot I had there. Okay. Let's see. Does other memory come into anything here?
Let me think. Yes, because I imagine a previous Reverend Mother would have been in Salutaris at some point during a security alert. They might have seen what you're supposed to do at Fortress Landing. Because Fortress Landing is it a fairly old established? Is it an established asset that's been in the house for generations, or is it a new? That's what Trigger said that.
No, the fortress is at least several generations old, right? It probably the way I said that rulers are kind of brought up for what the house will need next. Mm-hmm. This fortress probably would have been built under at the latest. It would have been built under the last ruler who had been raised to be militarily minded. Mm-hmm. So it's it's anywhere between 10,000 and 500 years old, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, a Reverend Mother would have encountered a security alert. Just landing. That makes sense.
Okay, so that's 3 auto successes on top of whatever I roll.
Ooh.
That's 7, but with 2 comps.
Well, you gained 5 momentum at least.
Yeah, so just take the 4.
Very good. Whoop. You wish to keep, or is it going to the bad guys?
What do you guys think? I mean, both the Swordmaster, the War Master, and Gallia would all be aware that the security level suddenly just went up. If any of them wanted to do anything, or the Doctor, for that matter.
So what? Oh, this is to get an assist to put you one over, or what?
No, if you wanted to
Keep.
grab one of them to act and keep and act.
Oh. I don't think we can have multiple characters in one scene, though. Right? So it would have to be the Doctor.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't really see this as the Doctor's purview, so.
Okay. Moonshadow, do you got something you want to do that's worth keeping for?
Not right now, no.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we'll let it roll back to them.
Okay. This person's going to get the hell out of here.
Try, anyway.
Actually, you do have a wealth asset. You're employing it here. You're making sure people are aware that the money is for finding whoever. This person is going to attempt to move, not subtly, but boldly, to get out of Fortress Landing. Staying here is starting to become a little too dangerous for them. They look like they're found out. Probably should back off. A full mitt. Difficulty is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did you count? Doesn't Fortress Landing give a bonus?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
One. Okay. 1, 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Sorry, I was not counting right. I can math, I promise.
I mean, well, no. If I succeeded this, I move that asset out. I can push the asset out, or I can move high alert.
Yeah, to the spaceport. That'd work out. It'd be fine.
Where am I? There I am. Not at those points. Yep. Me being disguised does help me, so I do have 1 free hit. Oh, really? My other stuff are for what I do. Yeah. I'm aiming for 5. I don't think I hit it. I don't. 1, 2, maybe.
I think 3 for sure.
One, 2, 3, yeah. 3 is not enough, so they waste their turn trying to boldly get out, and they find that there's a bunch of camera cuts to this hooded figure who changes their whose clothes kind of shift color suddenly as they round a corner. They start heading toward a window to step out of, and then some excited chambermaids move toward that window. Go, this is where I sneak out of at night. Yeah, we'll catch them if they come through here. Then the spy just kind of goes, okay, I'm just gonna Go that way.
Fade back around the corner.
Damn, I thought I was being clever. Well, shoot, that sucked. That was a waste of our turn, wasn't it? Should we keep? Does that help us to keep? Not really, because you screwed up while you're in there. Oh, I know. But does it help me to do keep? Not doing it. I'd rather see what you're gonna do. It's your turn. Moonshadow or Dr. Jorg?
I think we can have me try to interrogate the guy one more time.
Sure.
Alright, I will buy up to a full mit, primarily using momentum, since we have 5 momentum, and you can take an extra threat.
Sure.
I will use power.
Full mid back at you, because I'm not telling you stuff. I don't want to tell you stuff. Why are you so persistent? I've told you everything I know.
The AP's just rolling in now.
I will use my focus of interrogation.
Interrogate this. Ooh, that's not a great sign for me. Oh, so many 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. Hooray!
Oh, no. Yeah, you do your 2 damage to interrogate him.
Yay.
You wish to do 1 extra for 2 threat?
Sure. Sad face.
3 is not enough to defeat him, but yeah, there's that last bit of you almost give up, and one more thing. It's like, damn it. Do you guys wish to keep, or do you want to let it go to the baddies?
I mean, in theory, York could take a swing at interrogation. Please, it's for your own good.
That'd be good. If we can finish him off, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, that's not what Jorg is going to do, but Jorg will ask him some pointed questions. You've dealt with the good cop. Now you're going to deal with the even gooder cop.
Sounds like communicate to me, honestly. Opposed. You're engaging in the intrigue. So this isn't good. Now he has 2 intrigue targets to do.
Can I suggest discipline? He's not trying to convince the guy to tell him the correct thing. He's just got enough discipline to sit there for hours upon hours and listen to the guy say things, and then bring something up from 3 hours ago and be like, "Oh, that's what happened, but you said this."
That's such a Sook Doctor thing to pull. I'll take it. Yeah, that's such an annoying thing. A
100%.
Doctor should just do. Like, how do you remember that? I could tell you the anatomy recitations from 4 different books in 3 different languages.
Patients are always trying to hide things.
Yeah, patients lie.
And truth.
Yeah. Full mit. No, great. The doctor's trying to talk to me now. Great. Wonderful. Awesome. I have to sit here for hours talking to him, and unfortunately, I know what he's like.
And he's nervous about the doctor because the doctor took him down.
Yeah. Defeated by a Sook Doctor. He'll never live down. He's certainly not going to tell him anything.
All right, I'll spin that back.
No. Whoops, I was about to give some to Jamie. That would have helped.
Focus in composure.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Get away with you. Get away with
Wow.
8.
you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough. 2 momentum. You do damage to him. Do you wish to do 1 extra?
Yes.
With momentum or threat?
Momentum.
6. He's not defeated yet.
One or two more.
So I went this guy. You know what? I'm gonna have this guy go. He's gonna send his hired asset to move boldly to the spaceport. Difficulty 3 because somebody's here. Buy 2 extra dice. Plus we're getting low on threat. Oh, well. Oh, did I hit it? It's 3. That's 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I wasted my turn. Yeah. This this agent has an increased complication. Because they're trying to do something, but they're getting a little nervous. They're starting to get really nervous and really paranoid, so they kind of pull back the guy from going to the spaceport right away. It kind of wastes his turn, but now he's gonna have when he does stuff, he's gonna have an increased complication. All good guys have gone, so goes to this guy at the spaceport. I'm already here. I probably should make sure we can leave. I'm gonna do that. I'll spend a threat. Difficulty of still 3, because I'm doing espionage stuff. Nope. Wait my turn. And then Mr. Face Dancer will try to argue with Moonshadow, try to push her out of the conflict entirely. He'll buy 1 die. Try talk around Moonshadow.
Okay. I'm gonna try to defend with understanding, I think.
Yep.
Using... let's go with duty this time. I need to stay strong and persistent on this.
I'll buy 1.
And you can have 3 threat. I shall buy 2 dice. And can I use my physical empathy?
Understanding, yeah.
Focus, yes.
2, 3
Yay.
is not enough for him. Gain 2 momentum.
Hooray.
A complication would hit him, but that'll hurt him for future communications, but I think you're going to get everything you want currently anyway.
Nice.
With dogged determination, the 2 of you are able to push him to... He tells a lot of stories, answers lots of questions, gives information, and for a good while, there's a point where you think you got everything you could out of him. They did answer your question about who hired him, who sent him, why he was here. And he never says this straight, but piecing together, the best lie has a bit of truth in it. So it's about finding those little nuggets of truth and collecting them together. And then it's at that point, Moonshadow and York both have this light bulb moment, which you probably aren't going to reveal in front of it. You may choose to reveal in front of the face dancer or not, but both of you suddenly realize his ultimate employer is the Bene Talaxu. He's currently being paid by House Alaka with money from Moritani, but that's not why he's here. That's not why he's trying so hard. ultimately doing this for the Beni Talaxu.
Good to know. I think that gives us. So at this point, I'll send a communication to the false graph and Erica to let her know that we know who was employing this guy.
Bad guys acted last, so good guys get to act first.
Can you guys maybe find out why the Beni Talaxo are so interested in us?
For momentum, you can ask extra questions if you want. You did defeat him in the intrigue, after all.
Sure. I will ask why they're doing this.
Again, over the hours and hours of talking to this guy, he tells you all kinds of stories. But I met this person, that this person's secretly dealing with that person. But again, you sit there and collect that, and you think, and then you think about other things he said earlier, and it sounds like the Beni Talaxu think, or actually think is a wrong term. That's too weakest way to say it. They are fairly certain that there is a secret to the Silvani sap. Actually, that's not it either. They know a secret about the Silvani sap. And they want something from the deepest deep of the Silvani wood. That's what he's here for. He's here to get access to the deepest deep wood. Because there's something the Beni Talaxu want out of there. And as far as he's concerned, he would know it when he sees it, because he was not informed. He was told by a master, go do the thing. Here's your mission, go do it, but wasn't told precisely what the objective was. They would just know the objective was. But whatever it was, it's involved with something that about the secret they know about Silvani sap.
Based on my trait of being Silvani, is there any additional information that I would know from memory?
You know that the deepest deep is the place where the clan mother with no clan is installed, where the Reverend Mother is hailed for Silvanus, and that supposedly there's a among the Silvani tribes, there is something that clan mothers are sworn to protect above all other consideration. But that's not something you're told, but you know that if you became a clan mother, you would get to know. But you know clan mothers might know it, like your clan mother Moonshadow might know precisely what that is. But it's very likely Johanna knows. She's the clan mother of no clan.
Okay.
Yeah, but whatever it is the most important thing to the Silvani tribes to protect.
And my final question would be whether or not he knows anything about where the false graph is.
I'll push back that momentum he would spend. He wouldn't know that.
Okay. Otherwise, are there any other phase dancers on planet working with him?
I'll push that back. He wouldn't know that.
Okay.
He gives lots of answers around it, but you get the feeling that he's very aware of his mission and nothing else.
Maybe ask him what Alaka/Moritani is paying him to do.
That was going to be my next question.
Oh,
cool. Like, what is his mission?
For momentum, I'll answer.
Sure.
He is to effect the kidnapping of Duke Valorian.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And his which will likely lead to his replacement.
And how are you gonna do that?
For a threat, I'll answer.
Sure.
Well, as the false graph, he would invent some tension between Silvanus and Valorian. Maybe get a secret audience where it's just him and the Duke, and he could do the swap then, or kidnap him then. But he's never gotten a chance, especially since he's with Falsgraf and Erica. It's likely he would be led to the Duke Valorian anyway, because he's the steward. But at some point, he was hoping to be with Falsgraf and him, and then maybe have a private word with the Duke. He has yet to get to do. And again, he doesn't say this directly. It's all stories and haphazards, but you're able to piece it together. So once he grabs him, he figures that he'd have to use his discretion whether or not he would need to replace him right away, or if he's supposed to take the Duke somewhere else, and then the Bene Talaxu would enter someone else in. Like, there might be somebody else waiting to replace him, but he doesn't know for sure. He might be the replacement, he might not. Not until he gets to that point and reports in.
Alright. So yes, I will summarize what we've learned and see if I can, like, in a report, and see if I can walk it over to the Falsgraf.
I will end your espionage battle for now, because you guys have found out currently... Oh no, there's still hostile things.
I was about to say.
You're still in combat, never mind. It's a new round, so it goes to players. I will note that the Face Antrim won't do anything. He's defeated in the espionage and in the intrigue, so he can't really... He tried to defeat you in skirmish, so his only hope would be warfare, or someone gets him out. He can't act on his own anymore. Every avenue he has is basically locked out. So he's down. Until his situation drastically changes.
Okay, I'm gonna try and find this guy who's, I think's infiltrated our home.
Oppose roll. I forget what you used to find him.
I guess that would be a find information.
Probably
Task.
understanding, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm buying a full mit. I don't want to be caught.
Okay.
Really don't want to be. Oh no, I'm stuck in here.
Understand truth.
Yep.
Okay. Submit. I too will buy a full mit and reply.
No.
Okay. Do the assets I've created, the wealth, the security, and then of course Fortress Landing.
Yes, those are, so you have +3 essentially.
Okay. I don't think other memory would really come into play here, because this is kind of a very specific finding this specific guy.
Yeah, he hasn't done this before, so not in the memory of a previous Reverend Mother.
No focus. Let's see what we get here. If there's anything else I can throw at it. Spy trait for... Well, no, I think we've got traits cancel each other out. Yeah.
Cancel each other out in traits,
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I'm taking it personally.
Here we go.
Writing about you on the Reddit.
That's 9 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have more than.
Yep.
3 momentum. Ow. You. Because Fortress Landing's involved.
4.
Yep. Which. Yep. This person has been found out.
Arrest that man!
Well, you learn that this person is an agent of the Spacing Guild. Of the Spicing Guild. Spacing Guild? Spicing Guild. Spacing Guild.
Spacing
Spicing Guild. The Space Guild, the Navigators. There we go. He's an assassin sent by the Space Guild. So whether you wish to engage him in a skirmish, because now he's just going to run for it, or you can try to invite him to talk.
Yeah, I'll invite him to talk. Otherwise, I'm going to sick like everything from the Swordmaster to the Warmaster to every guard in the house on him.
Where do you meet your would-be spy, your would-be assassin?
Somewhere where Mill Moonshadow is.
In
Fight is not what I do.
In a meeting chamber of some sort, I imagine, or a dining room, or some neutral area, or do you try to bring him to an office? just so I know where we are.
How about well, that's right. It's not we're domed, right? The cities on Silvanus are
No, you guys terraformed the planet. You guys have wide green fields and trees and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, let's meet in an interior garden, kind of a neutral space.
Oh, like the interior courtyard?
Yeah, except more of the gardeny space. Yeah.
Okay.
So a little bit more of a neutral space. Because, I mean, he's not Teliaxu, he's not Mortani, I don't know what the Spacing Guild's interest is, but they're also not somebody we particularly want to piss off.
The two of you await in a small garden in the interior courtyard, and in due time, a gardener comes up to your bit of garden and watering some of the plants, slowly approaching you, and
hyper awareness. Is this guy gardener?
Yeah, you see that he is not in fact the gardener as he sits down his watering can and takes off his hat and bows to Johanna. Good day to you, Silvanus Johanna. Day to you, Marshal Mill. I am Rabran Frederick of the Guild Agent. I am led to believe that I am able to speak with you some discreet privacy for now, rather than shot.
Yes, House Beleza has no desire to endanger our very profitable for both sides relationship with the Spacing Guild. However, you can understand our curiosity finding an agent of the guild trying to infiltrate our home.
Would you like me to turn over my tools to your marshal or to yourself before we continue? Or would you like me to keep them?
Is that talking about his weapons, basically? And
he says tools. He's very specific.
Oh.
He looks unarmed. He looks perfect. He looks
right.
He looks like a gardener somehow that looks like he's worked here before. The two of you almost think he looks like one of your gardeners.
Right. Although I admit to a professional interest in your accoutrement, I hope anyway, that this conversation can have us partying on at least amicable terms, if not friendly. So for now, keep your tools and try not to make either one of us nervous.
Very well. How may I be of assistance to the spy master of
What on earth are you after here?
the death of the false graph?
You're aware of the false graph's identity then?
That he's a traitor to your liege lord? Yes. Shame upon House Fraioli.
Joanna chuckles. There's a bit more to the story than that. But even so, this is intra-house politics. Why would the Spacing Guild bother to be involved?
We have been made aware that there is a plot to kidnap the steward of Silvanus, to upset the balance of power here and thus disrupt trade and safe passage.
Yes, but I fear you may be misinformed about the plot's origin. Well, maybe not. I'm sorry, I'm confusing my player confusion there. That plot did come from Alaka. Right. Okay. Sorry, that was player brain fart. Well, I can assure you that House Beleza has that situation well in hand.
We would rather you didn't. Your ploy to kidnap him must be stopped. Even though you found me, your false graph will be thwarted in time.
Hold on, even though the what now? Oh, he thinks we're... You surely don't think that House Salutaris, House Beleza is behind this kidnapping attempt. The Space Guild really should up its game in espionage. You're looking at the entirely wrong suspect.
Has the false graph's wife not been in secret concert with the Duke Valorian, trying to draw him into... Is he not employing her to entreat with the tribes and push for further control of House Beleza over these? And we have learned of the frustrations of the cult, the instrument that would likely out any such. Pulsegraph's reach is wide and long. Many moves and money have changed in this area. The most likely suspect of all this in these two moons and world is House Beleza, Spy Master.
Joanna actually laughs out loud, just pure and unadulterated and honest, and says, "If you think that the false graph can get Erica Beleza to do anything that she oh, thank you so much. I truly needed a laugh today. It has been a long morning." No, the false graph has been operating on his own recognizance, and as for the Redeemer Inquisition, they made a mistake of attacking Erica's household, which she takes very personally, and is, if you know anything about her, somewhat of a impetuous lord, and one who's been trained to react primarily to threats with military action. Um, so that's where the fall of the Redeemer Inquisition came from. As to a further integration with the tribes and in increasing the house's holdings on Silvanus itself, that's just strengthening Beleza and Beleza's relationship with Silvanus. You've mistaken normal house politics for a larger plot. Not that the plot you described doesn't exist, it's just not Beleza who's behind it.
May I dare to request you enlighten me, Spymaster, about who you believe the true culprit is?
Elaka, follow the money, my friend.
House Alaka is shattered, remnant of what it was by the vengeance of Atreides. You say they still act?
Well, at least do they act as a pass-through for certain interests' monies to
Mortani. That makes You're on the side of a cast.
Well,
Why would your Falsgraf be cooperating with them so much? Why would you stop me from... Well, I suppose I can see why you don't want me to kill him. You yourself, I suppose.
Okay, I'm going to use hyper-awareness. Trying to figure out whether or not I should tell this guy about the Beni Teliaxu or not.
I'm not sure hyper awareness will help you there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's more of a discretion. How much you want the Spacing Guild to know what's going on.
Right.
Because you do know this guy's an agent to serving and
Right.
protect.
So, okay, and this actually may be another memory kind of question thing. What do I know about the Spacing Guild and the Beni Teliaxu's relationship / interactions? What's the score there?
Yeah, we'll call that understanding difficulty 5. That's not well-known information.
Okay, not even with other memory?
Other memory will help you.
Okay. Understanding difficulty 5. Truth?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting 3 free hits. So I will use 3 momentum to buy 2 extra dice. Yes, that's correct, Inslee. Let's see what I can do here. No focus. 6.
Gained 1. How to explain? Short. Okay, so the various old orders, the Order Mentat, the Order Bene Gesserit, the Order Tlaxu, Spacing Guild, Chom, all of these things are products of Butler and Jihad, the formation of the New Imperium. And they've all had very different ways how they thought. They've all had very different ways to approach helping humanity, why they think their way is the better way to do it. And they all have their rivals in power, much like nobles or great houses are rivals in power in that sense. So all the great houses have all the great factions have something against each other so just to give you an idea that everybody has something against everybody to a degree. Like even there's even a tension between you and the Spacing Guild to a degree because you are different factions with different goals. And you're kind of aware of each other's ultimate goal. they kind of know the Bene Gesserit, not specifically, but they kind of know the Bene Gesserit are after the Kwisatz Haderach. How specifically, they don't know that. They're not your faction. They don't get to know that. Likewise, the Spacing Guild is trying to maintain its monopoly on travel and spice. The spice must flow. They must make sure that only certain people control it. Anyone who screws with that must be destroyed.
Right.
Now, the thing that most people don't know, even among the Bene Gesserit, but you as a Reverend Mother are able to look back over the span of history, that there was a project that the Bene Tlaxu tried to do, the Project Amal, which was an attempt back in 10154 to replicate spice. Now, most people on Salutaris and Silvanus and Agrestis know that Silvanus Sap was part of it, and that House Arconis sabotaged the project to some degree. But here's a couple things that as on top of that. So one, Project Amal, without going into the nitty-gritty, gory, horrible details, Project Amal also used Bene Gesserit sisters as a type of fuel to create spice. Getting juice from the melon, let's put it that way. Because, there's spice in people, and the Silvanus sap kind of increased the yield. So because of that, and that was all a Bene Tlaxu ploy. They were supposedly with House Carino's help, though that connection never got proved in the Landsrad, and it kind of went away. Because the new Padishah Emperor hand-waved it and said, no, that was the previous Emperor. I knew nothing about it. So don't worry, this project's done. They'll never do it again. That's why the Spacing Guild has a particular disinterest against Bene Tlaxu, because that would break the monopoly on spice. They would be the purveyors of a new type of amal, a type of new artificial spice that they could create, which would put them at because now there's this balance of power between the Imperium and the Spacing Guild, where they can't be too mean to each other because that ruins the other one. But if the Bene Tlaxu had their source, now it's a three-way fight instead of a two-way fight. It was a two-way fight between the Emperor and the Spacing Guild.
Okay.
So that's something that, and I will tell you, almost no one knows that. There's probably no more than 10 other people other than yourself that know that. That is very secret information.
About Project Amal?
Project Amal is kind of known, but the specifics about the Bene Gesserit being involved and the Spacing Guild being part of why that failed, all that.
Okay. I tell him, well, we have learned that while the Alaka, for lack of any definitive information leading it back any further, plot against House Valoran was indeed quite present, the agent pretending to be the Falsgraf, and I kind of look significantly at him, was far more interested in the Silvani sap and those pulling those particular strings were the same ones and the same strings behind Project Amal.
Project Odd.
Yes, I think House Beleza and the Guild have the same enemy in this instance. And as far as that goes, as a Reverend Mother, I can tell you that I'm not terribly fond of them either.
Looks at you. You can see a look of not understanding. That's probably part of the project he doesn't know. He doesn't know the Bene Gesserit part of the equation.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but I'm just kind of letting him know that not only is it Beleza and the Spacing Guild that have common interests, that also the Bene Gesserit are not real, are like also kind of aligned against the Teliaxu here.
So, all right. That explains why he's acting the way. My orders have now changed drastically. Not entirely sure. Well, I'll ask you plain then, Spy Master. Are you handling this, or do you need us to handle
We intend to handle it. However, the guild might be in a position to assist with information that might regard the fate of Sebastiani Fraioli.
I'll speak with you plain, Spy Master. I am the sharp end of problem solving. We'll have to reach out to those, to the architects of fortunes. This is starting to get a bit beyond what I thought I was here for.
Yes, I understand, but I'm sure that there's someone you can carry this information back to.
I will.
And
I will ensure
perhaps-
I share the information that's shared with me. I'm
and
sure they'll expect your calling.
that sounds good. So, it has been lovely to speak with you and to meet you. But I think perhaps now I have an appointment, and I'm sure you do as well.
May I have your leave to exit the premises? I believe we should withdraw from your... I think us staying here is going to help any.
Of course. Safe travels.
Spy Master, Marshall. Guy picks up the watering can, puts on a hat, and starts blending in, and the guy will slowly extract himself out of the building. Which also involves the other two people who are working with him, so they leave. And this assassin goes poof, because he doesn't...
Raban Fedoric.
You fall out of combat because there are no hostile agents anymore. And you've kind of found out what you're trying to find out from Mr.
Right.
Mr. Face Dancer. So stress goes poof. Act out of combat order.
So, did I read you right in that Erica currently has what's basically like a lingering trait after an attack kind of thing? I'm basically trying to figure out if this is where, assisting an ally or whatever can come in.
You can get rid of
ally.
someone's complication that way.
Okay. Is Erica the only one with said complication?
Anyone else have complications? That would be something...
I do.
All right, you had to take one when you were resisted defeat.
Yeah, that's right. I had unfocused, I think it was. Or disconnected. Disconnected it was.
Disconnected it was.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
sorry.
So what is like disconnected? How did you elucidate that a bit?
The way it was explained to me is that I was feeling a bit out of my depth and having trouble connecting all the dots.
Okay. Okay, well, first Joanna will try to assist Mill, although she definitely wants. Is there a way over like this time I can assist both Mill and Erica, or do I have to choose?
You can do both. You just get one crack at the can, basically.
For both or once for each?
Once for each.
Okay, so with Mill, I will try to assist by pointing out that it turns out she wasn't below her depth. She was against a really canny professional opponent. That she'll point out how face dancers are within the espionage community just almost legendary, and that despite setbacks she never gave up, and even when it looked like she was backed into a corner she couldn't get out of, she did and managed to get the information she needed and outwit and convince him to tell her the truth ultimately. That's how I'm going to attempt to...
Sounds like a communicate difficulty too.
Okay. Neurolinguistics,
Mhm.
because I'm planting that idea in her head.
Benevolent
Communicate.
brainwashing.
Communicate truth, because I think that's what actually happened here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recently. Doesn't rank counter. Yeah, no.
Okay. I'll give you 1 threat for a 3rd die.
Good.
I do have a focus this go round. See if that helps at all. Hit it. Nice.
That trait goes away, Moonshadow.
Awesome.
Okay. And then I know Erica's feeling depressed about everything pretty much, right? That was her complication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what Joanna's going to do for Erica is going to take more time, but I know Erica's gone into seclusion, but Joanna is going to go and, if I can't sit in the room or in the, sitting room near her quarters or whatever, I'm basically going to place myself near so she knows that I'm here, but not, I'm not going to try and cheer her up. I'm just letting her know that I care and I'm here. So try just by that, bond of family, and even though we had this terrible, fight or argument earlier, that that from my end at least, the relationship is still strong, and so is my love and care for her. Just kind of to be there to physically underline my emotional support for her.
I would ask, would Erica take note of anyone at her door? Or if she saw Johanna out there, be like, hey, go away. In essence, mechanically, is she accepting the help, narratively?
By virtue of Galia bridging the last gap, yes. Like, because she's gonna not be paying attention, right? But Galia is the one who can transmit that information.
That Joanna's been outside for hours, just yeah.
Like, do you want a chair, Reverend Mother? No, you're good? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you had your... Okay, that's why. Okay.
Prenabindu, I could stand here for a long time.
Oh, looks like you have your own chair. Or you don't. No, you wouldn't show off Prenabindu. You'd be like, wow, she can stand there for a long while. Mm-hmm.
All right. Just little micro muscle movements that keep things from, so what?
I'd say... I'll say communicate or discipline, difficulty 2.
Okay.
I'm thinking discipline because you're standing there for as long as it takes for her to register it.
Okay, I'm going to argue for truth, because this is coming from my, true feelings for her as, not just liege lord, but cousin and family. That this is not this isn't a stance. This isn't done from, duty as an architect of the house, but from, the heart, from love and family.
Yeah, I'll take that argument.
Okay. And can I kick in Pranabindu for a reroll if needed, since that's kind of how I'm managing just to stay there so patiently for so long?
If you're using discipline, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm using, discipline and truth. So that's 1 reroll. I think I'll just be safe and buy a couple dice. Let's see, discipline, because I messed that up. Discipline, truth. How many dice? I'll give you 3 for 4. And no focus. I will... What, difficulty's 2?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm not going to fish. I'll just leave it for that 4.
You pick up 2 points, and Erica the Third's depression fades off as Galia transmits Johanna is basically out there for hours, if not days, as necessary, for as long as it takes for Erica to know that Johanna's going to be nearby no matter what.
Yeah. That's the message.
Then
Like a living
maybe
statue.
maybe like the next day, the doors to the apartments will open, and Galia will motion for the Reverend Mother to come in.
Okie dokie.
Skirmish rolls?
Erica will.
I lose.
Erica will stand up from having been
We're in the criminal engine world.
playing with Antonio and walk very close to the Reverend Mother. And in a hushed tone, say, I will struggle to ever protect and care for him because of his father's nature, and he will only ever be a liability to his brother. Would the Bene Gesserit see to his care and education if I were to allow his brother to marry according to your choice?
Oh, wow, that's a weird position to be in for someone whose family as well as Bene Gesserit. Hmm. Did the Bene Gesserit do that for males? I mean, is there a...
I wasn't assuming it'd be like a becoming Bene Gesserit.
Right.
I assumed it would be like shipped off to one of their facilities as like
a student, like it would be
as a-
boarding school kind of thing?
yeah, as an exception to their normal order to get something they want.
Right.
Basically giving them, well, not
Right.
giving them, but you're kind of giving them an asset or a possible agent in the that would, or be a Bene Gesserit agent rather than Alessa. In years and years' time, because he has to grow up and stuff and be. Or they might use him as a kid because the freaking Bene Gesserit.
Oh, I know what Joanna would do here, but it's so fucking dangerous. Oh God. Okay.
I will highlight to the both of you. There is another thing the Bene Gesserit might do. This would be something that the Mother Superior would do. She might use him as a. If you didn't want him to marry and benefit from a house, they may use him as a way. Much how they marry off ladies to enhance the bloodline. They might marry him off to some lady elsewhere, and he's not melding the houses. He's Lord so and so or Sir so and so who is the consort to somebody else.
Right. Not to mention that, you know, if they found out what his genetics were made of, you know, they would be terribly interested.
Mm-hmm. That might be very useful to them.
So Joanna will say,
it feels terrible to say that, but I know that's what the Bene Gesserit.
I know. Joanna will say, as your cousin, and put like a definite but slight emphasis, still speaking very softly, on the family relationship, I would point out that he has as much of his mother in him as his father, but if it is your wish, I would take him into my home and raise him as my son, as my own. as family.
She says, it is not an equal comparison. His mother is human. His father is not.
His mother is Erica III Beleza. That's some powerful genetics. Trust me.
And to be in your personal care would not solve the issue. The issue is not a wish to be rid of him, quite the opposite. But his lineage so compromises him that that compromise could be used against his brother. And it's hard to explain to someone who's not in my position or has not served as an heir or a ruler. But we do not get the luxury of having siblings purely for familial enjoyment. There's much of a happiness to have around as they are a knife that someone can stab you with.
Fair enough.
And if you were to take him into your custody, he would still be on this planet.
I will point out that since my order would be thrilled to educate him and have access to that particular genome.
She says, no, that's not what I would agree to. I would agree to him being in their care and being forbidden from marrying into a noble line. That is the because I'm accepting a price equally as extreme.
Right.
Basically, he would have to be nothing but a burden to the Bene Gesserit. Like they wouldn't get any. Erica's not going to allow them to have any use of him. What they get out of this is not him. What they get is the choice of who Alfonso marries.
Okay, so GM, I can't imagine that under usual circumstances the Bene Gesserit don't run genetic analysis on whoever, because that seems like exactly what the Bene Gesserit would do.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that's a particular deal to make? Because the thing is, like, it doesn't matter if he marries nobility or not. The Bene Gesserit could, have him impregnate a sister, and then they've got a whole thing to play with.
You could roll understanding difficulty, I'll say of 2. No, I'll say of 3, because even for you, this is pretty hard to know.
Other memory come in, I would assume?
You're a Reverend Mother. You know more than most sisters do.
Okay. Okay, and truth, because that's what I'm trying to suss out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, submit. Difficulty 3, I'm getting 3 free, so I'll just spend 1 determination for a third, not determination, momentum for a third die.
I'm really getting momentum.
I do that all the time. I've done that ever since I started playing Star Trek, for goodness sake. No focus. Okay, so 6.
3 generated, because the target was 3. So if you told them something, yeah, if you do the deal as said, then they wouldn't. You could get them to agree to him being celibate, to prevent his genes being used that way. They may still study him if they do a gene scan of him, and try to learn as much as they can. They may use him as an agent down the line. So he wouldn't be able to marry and have kids or anything like that, but they could use him for a while. If you kept them in their care, they would either use him as someone to study in depth because he has genes that are very useful to them, or they may use him as an agent that can pass certain Bene Talaxu tests because his genes can kind of slip by.
And am I right in thinking that this kind of deal, the flip side of the heir marrying as the sisters want, as potentially being a lever that gets them kind of off of our back, and to think that the new Reverend Mother is kind of bringing things back under control here in Silvanus?
Only if they get more out of it than they lose. Right now, you're asking for an even.
Okay.
That's you just acting as a diplomat on the Erica's behalf, not acting as an agent, as a Reverend Mother of the Bene Gesserit.
Okay.
Because they always want to win out. They always want to have a little bit of something. Not a lot. Every tiny piece, every positional advantage they can get adds up over time because they think the long term. But getting control of the next heir is good, but losing out on having the kid as a... you could negotiate that into them believing that. So it wouldn't be automatic. You'd have to talk the Mother Superior into accepting that the Sisterhood's winning on this, rather than just getting an even deal. You think they do it? You think if you gave them this deal, there'd be no test? They go, yeah, sure. That's still an even trade, and even trades are fine.
Okay.
But if you want them to back off, you need them to think that they're winning it, or you need to make sure they're winning.
Okay. Yeah. Then. If that is your wish, then I can make that happen.
What do you find folks of Beleza do?
So I will try and strike the deal with the Bene Gesserit and Mother Superior, and as kind of potential to get them to think that I'm getting things back on track from the previous Mother Superior. I will note the potential benefits to sap production and increasing said sap production to perhaps the heir being ultimately paired with a clan mother or a high chief's daughter of the Silvani clans, maybe particularly the sap weavers, or just the chief of chiefs line. That in itself might be a route to the increase in sap production that they were interested in with the Redeemers and Arconis. Which is an argument I was going to make to them anyway, that the actual better way to do this is to increase sap production, but also do it in a sustainable, over the long-term fashion, rather than just raping the planet like a Harkonnen, would be to go through the tribes. And I'll even use language like that to talk about the previous plan.
So you'd be proposing a marriage between Beleza and Thalar Windwhisper? Because he's the current chief of the Silvani tribes.
Or his heir.
Well, not to him, but to his heir, yeah.
Well, but the problem is that his heir is unlikely to be the chief themselves. At least, it's nowhere near a guarantee, right? Because it's an elected position.
That is the risk you bear. Because if you did that, you'd have Beleza and the Sisterhood would have to push to make sure they won that election. That'd probably be a thing that would happen in the generation. Make sure he eventually got to that post. That way, that bloodline holds Beleza and the tribes at the same time.
Like, okay, how do the sap weavers, like, because each tribe has its leadership, correct?
Yep.
So do the sap weavers do the same kind of elective thing, or do they have some sort of
Yeah, there's an
you-
election for chief.
Okay.
The clan mother can veto if they think you're cowardly or you're pretending or whatever. But yeah, it's an election, and once you're elected to chief of your tribe, and then the chiefs, each of the chiefs, when the new chief of chiefs steps down, then they have election among the chiefs who gets to be the chief of chiefs.
Right.
Because Windwhisper's still the chief of clan Windwhisper as well. It's just that he's also the chief of all the other tribes as well, as far as the Farfel Fetcher system is concerned.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the deal, an alliance between Beleza and the tribes with an eye to, helping out the Bene Gesserit by the increased production of sap in a sustainable manner.
Oh, so you're trying to marry into to the Sapweaver clan.
Not necessarily the sap weaver, but I mean, that would be part of it. This is the plan. There's a marriage between Beleza's heir and the tribes in some way, and Joanna's expertise on the tribes as to determine the best marriage to make there.
Yeah.
To like fulfill the Bene Gesserit's wish of a sustainable increase in sap production for the Bene Gesserit's needs. Because I don't necessarily think we have to have they're going to marry so and so here.
But whoever happens to be the best move.
Right. And I know the tribes enough and am in with them enough to make that determination.
I'm gonna call this a straight. Are you sending like a letter, or are you going all the way to Sisterhood World? Make your case, because you could send it in a coded dot letter, like message. I'll tell you mechanically that the difference would be that you are looking at currently, if you just send a coded dot message, it's a difficulty 3 communication. If you go there yourself to personally petition for it, then it goes down to 2, because you're going through that extra step of deference to the Mother Superior. Like, hey, I'm coming here personally to make this plea. The difference is, though, that you'd have to do checks to get there. You'd have to get a ship. You'd have to fly out there. It would take you time to get there, rather than a dot that would eventually get to them. Difficulty would be higher if you were pushing for a much more damaging deal for them, but that's a pretty good deal for them so far. Like, I think that's a deal the Mother Spirit would.
Sorry, I was muted. So yeah, I think I would go directly, and I think Antonio would travel with, because I will kind of bring him to put them into their care from there.
Someone's gonna need to give me a communicate difficulty 2 to make sure Antonio doesn't get ornery about it. Gonna be kind of confused and not understand why he's going on a trip, why he's leaving home again without his mother or father. Little confused, and that needs to be explained.
You don't want me to put your hand in the box.
I think this is me.
Yeah.
Communicate?
Yeah. No, battle. Come here, kid. Fight me in a duel. Yeah, communicate difficulty 2.
Communicate duty.
I believe. I don't think any reason why duty. Yeah, no, totally.
All right. I'll use Gali as an asset to help if allowed.
You can, yeah. This is turning into a sad scene. It's been a sad scene for a bit, but still.
Hell, you did this to us.
I know.
What are you sad about?
Well, I can be sad about characters having bad times in stories. Leave me alone.
Okay.
I'm empathetic to NPCs for crying out loud. So.
Can are you the personality trait of just? Because I've basically ensured that even if the genetic components that belong to the face dancer ever rear their head in his life, he is going to have one of the most advanced organizations in terms of genetics in the known galaxy to help.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, he's not going to be, you're not
Like,
forcing him and his brother to fight each other currently now. Now you're giving him his
No.
own path.
Yeah, he is still getting an inheritance in some way. It's just getting it early,
Yeah.
and I had to sell out his brother for it. All right.
Difficulty 0, I think, because between that and Dahlia.
Okay. Gonna spend 3 momentum.
For diff 0? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things about 2d20 when you've got a good set of when you've got a good combination, and you're right. I could crit
Oh, that's true.
about 30% of the time, so
You're likely to get way more out of it than you
spend.
pay into it.
Focus in diplomacy or innuendo, maybe. I don't think either, really.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it's persuasion.
Right, 3.
Oh, no, I rolled 1 dice too few.
Oh, well.
Oh my god.
Would you like me to take 2 threat or suffer a complication?
Take 2 threat.
Okay.
You've done enough. But I do get 2 bonus momentum from Galia.
It's true, yeah.
I will put the trait on him of first responsibility. Like, he believes, even as he's only 6 years old, but he believes he's been given an important task, and he's kind of taken that to heart.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be like a core memory for him.
Yeah. And then the next thing I'm going to do is spend 3 momentum
1, 2, 3.
to make a binding agreement that he always keeps the family's interests at heart, right? Because the reason for this task was to convince him not to be a problem. So taking that one step further and is never be a problem to the family.
Okay, you have that binding promise on him.
So, yeah, 6th threat if the Bene Gesserit didn't get any ideas
To use him against the house.
Man, this is so terrible, but it's so true for nobility.
There's a nod after this lengthy explanation and talk with him. There's a rather mature nod from him, like he gets it, he understands. Far more, he's very much being inducted into the world of intrigue and politic far earlier than he intended. But at least he's not being abandoned. He's not being used. He's helping House Bullet, helping his family, and family is helping in their way. He may have questions in the future why this is happening, but for now it's enough that he doesn't ask. He's just going to trust that his mother has the best interest, and she seems to. She's acting in a just manner, so. And Auntie Gallia is being nice about it too, so yeah.
All right, then I'll let him and the Reverend Runner be on their way.
Yes,
Yeah,
send
and-
him off with the, Yeah.
Quickly sent a notification to Moonshadow that the false griffin expects the charges against the face dancer to be brought promptly for the with the implication being the attempted murder of a member of the family.
So yeah, Joanna will take young, what is his name?
Antonio.
Antonio.
Young, what's
for
his
Wayne.
name?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I care for you, kid, but I don't know your damn name.
right. Player doesn't anyway, not off the
Sorry.
top of his head. So, and then I'll book us passage on a Highliner.
How will you do?
And I'll use my wealth asset to help me with that.
There you go.
And I might also drop that, taking a trip to what is the Bene Gesserit's main world again?
Wallach 9.
Wallach 9. And that, that my transport, the Beleza transport I'll be using, because has, that aboard the Beleza built Highliner are many lovely meeting spaces, and they are such wonderful modes of travel that it's one of the Highliners that people would like to get out and move around and kind of send that up through the Spacing Guild buy ranks or whatever, to kind of suggest that this would be an excellent opportunity for a member of the Spacing Guild and I to have a sit down to discuss some of these things that have been going on here in Silvanus, kind of fulfill that, meeting setup. If you see what I'm saying, that was very clumsily spoken. Yeah.
Shuffling of my zone. Call it a Highliner. Generic. I know you're going for a special one, but whenever you go on a Highliner, that's where you. Give me roll of let me check. This kind of thing, minute. Peter, hello. We'll call this communicate roll difficulty of 3.
This is to book the passage.
Oh no, wealth
Or
is fine.
to, okay. Or
You
to
can
make
afford
the
a trip on a
connection.
Highliner.
Yeah.
This is to get them to read the message between the lines, like, "Hey, could someone of importance come meet me in my quarters on the Highliner?"
Yeah. Or I also wanted to phrase it as one of the public areas or whatever on the Highliner, wherever they want. It's
Do you want them to meet you on the way there or on the way back?
Probably on the way back would be my preference, but whatever works for them, because that way, I won't have Antonio to worry about as well. So you said communicate something?
Communicate difficulty 3.
Okay. Communicate duty, because I'm trying to get the Space Force, the Space Guild to ally with Beleza and the Bene Gesserit interests here. Since okay, duty. Can I use neurolinguistics here?
Not really. You're kind of
Okay, yeah. So difficulty 3. Let's go ahead and use 3 momentum for 4 dice. Do I want to just go ahead and throw in 3 more for a full mit? Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you 3 threat for a full mit on top of that.
Sorry, how much are you spending? I was reading something.
3 momentum for 4 dice, and then I'll give you 3 more threat for just do a full mit, so I don't flub the roll. No focus, he said, and then probably rolls a bunch of complications. Nope. Made it by 1.
As you're traveling on the Highliner, what's Moonshadow up to?
Bringing the charges, because I was being honest when communicating with the false graph, and I am totally okay if she wants to execute the guy now that we've got what he knows out of him.
Give me understanding difficulty of 2. It's a pretty straightforward thing to lay out the charges. But just since you were able to get everything out of it, kind of admitted his complicity in what precisely he was trying to do.
All right, I'm gonna use duty in this case because it's definitely not a justice drive, and I see this more as like the duty of making sure the false Grafin stays reasonably sane to the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend that momentum for 1 extra die.
Okay. Back.
Nice.
As you're able to assemble a formal list of charges again. The face dancer.
All right, and I will bring it.
So the question is, does that include attempted murder of the false Graffin or a member of their direct family? Because that's the only I think we established that's the only capital punishment. Anything else would be like imprisonment or something.
I mean, per the house law, but also your character is the law.
Well, no, that's the problem. Erica does have a justice that outreaches her power. I say problem. That's normally a good thing.
Yeah. Did he at some point?
So the original reason he was captured, I think, is because he had a bomb in the presence of Antonio.
Yeah, it would include it then. Because if he, like, as far as we're aware, he was planning to set that off in the presence of Antonio, so. So, yeah, it would.
For momentum there, Moonshadow, I can kind of clarify that. For you.
Okay. Sure.
Because you were able to interrogate him. So the purpose of the bomb was to kill False Graf and Erica. That way, the false Graf is the one true ruler. He can control the situation.
In that case, it definitely would include it.
Because either Erica was going to lead him to the meeting so he could do the swap, or if the false Grafin dies, then he doesn't have to play. He's not tied by the apron strings anymore. Kind of move. Because now he has unquestioned control over the house at that point. Which would be very good for his mission. If he definitely acted without you, like he tried to act independent while you're around, that would have turned into a power struggle that would make his mission harder. You are muted, by the way.
Who is?
Sorry. So yeah, it would definitely include that particular charge in that case. Because, yeah, he was literally trying to kill the Falsgrafen. I mean, if there is a charge of attempting to usurp control of the house, that would be in as well. Like, I'd throw the book at the guy.
Yeah.
I guess then it's time to have a trial.
Dun dun.
Where do you have your trial?
For offenses like this, in the courtyard of Fortress Landing, in the presence of the condemned and the notables of the house and Silvanus.
On the moon of Silvanus, justice is served by two separate yet equal branches. The marshals
Falsgrafen.
that investigate the crime, and the Falsgrafen.
The accused that is brought before you looks like it does not look like he's George at all. It just looks like some generic young 20s, early 20s medical physician because he's still in the doctor's clothes. Well, generic clothes. Now it looks like he's kind of shifted them. But he's still restrained and tied down and everything. It's just his features have changed. But you are sure through moonshot, through those who are observing them, that this is the same person that was in that chair the whole time.
Then I will order his restraints removed.
The restraints are removed.
And then I will say, Marshal Moonshadow, what charges does the accused stand for?
Mill will give the very full list because there are several counts of assault, spying, espionage rather, of course the attempted murder, etc. So basically the full laundry list of everything we know that he's done.
And then I will ask, and Marshall, you have entered this evidence into the record. The evidence of these crimes into the record.
Yes.
And I will say to the accused, face to answer, your name is unknown, but your crimes are. Do you have any defense against them?
He looks around at the assembled faces along some rooftop. Back at you.
When he looks at them, at the rooftop areas, Mill will follow his glance because I'm trying to make sure there's not somebody about to assassinate or false graph him.
You look around and yeah, you don't see anything up there.
Okay.
He's looking for a way to escape, I think.
Yeah.
And for people to impersonate when he gets out.
Fortunately, escaping from this place, like, difficulty to move at all out of this place is a high difficulty. It's like difficulty 4 at least, just to move. So.
And there are, I don't know, 100 people ready to shoot him right now.
Yeah, so there's at least one extra asset that would suddenly come into play, at least 5 just to run. And this will probably turn into a skirmish, and it's like, I win the skirmish. Okay, you still have to leave as a move action. Oh. So that's him doing the quick math of, can I actually get out of here? Not likely. And you notice he doesn't make an attempt to run away, even though it's technically possible, but yeah.
Then I'll say, having reviewed the evidence and with no statement in your own defense, I find you guilty. Erica stands up and says, for the crime of attempted regicide, the only punishment can be death. I toss a sword in front of him and say, in accordance with our traditions, you may use that to end your own life, or you may stand and fight until you have no one left to fight or you die.
Is it in your tradition to offer an exchange for a lesser punishment?
Not for the crime of regicide or attempted regicide.
He takes.
You attempted to overthrow the government of this world. There can be no compromise.
He reaches down and picks up the blade off the ground rather nonchalantly. Then I suppose you'll have to find the false graph on your own. Jams him. He ends himself rightly. Put it that way.
Erica looks a little bit disappointed. She wanted him to put up a fight. I'll motion forward for the doctor to go under the protection of the colonel to verify that fact.
With a cursory examination. Colonel Octavia kind of gives an approving nod of like, oh, looks over at Moonshadow. Well, he seemed to know what he was doing. Give him that. But you are well assured, Moonshadow, that this person shall not come back. They were quite thorough. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Erica, remaining somewhat unconvinced, will say, Marshal, ensure cremation is carried out as normal.
Yes, false graph.
And then, Erica's gonna go be sad more.
To be fair, she's got a shit ton to be sad about.
Yeah.
It's been a rough couple sessions for Erica.
Then we look to the Highliner as Johanna Rashid arrives. Far off world, very few ever step. Save those who have means to serve it. Balakna, headquarters, the Bene Gesserits and their many millennial plan. The young Antonio looks around in utter wonder, just because this is, very few people ever come to this place, and this
Right.
is the second world he's ever been on. It's one thing to read
Third.
about such things. Third. It's one thing to read about such things, a whole other thing to actually like there and see all these impressive buildings and this ancient history, and not really understanding. There's no way he understands even half of what here, and the stuff he
Right.
thinks he understands, he's wrong about. There are more secrets hidden in these walls than humanity has bothered to count.
Right. And on our voyage, not during the highlighter part, which is pretty instantaneous, but I will have, assured him that, as I did with his mother, I will write to him frequently. And so, that he always has family.
Just been called to do my duty a little sooner than thought, I guess. So, but thanks, Auntie. Reverend Mother.
Auntie is fine, or
Auntie.
Johanna. As I said, we're family.
Auntie. As he tries, it looks like he almost says Johanna, and it's like, nah, that's two. It's like, no, that's just weird.
Okay.
Auntie is fine for him. He's like, no.
The sisters are powerful, but many of us are kind. You will find friends, I'm sure, and fulfillment in your work and training. I certainly did. And I was younger than you when I came here. Yes, I guess I have to go see the Mother Superior to make this deal.
Oops. Ah. As Reverend Mother, there's no test for you to seek out the Mother Superior. You find
great.
her braced by other sisters who are attending to
The Mother Superior is Kathy Bates. This may not go well.
her.
but what phenomenal actress. Well, I will make my obeisances.
She glares at you.
Mm.
You are the Reverend
Greetings.
Mother
Oh,
Silvanus. Hana.
Yes, Mother Superior, I am.
You have some nerve coming before for all that you have done.
I have done nothing but my duty, for I was selected by the previous Reverend Mother to undergo the agony, which I did, and have come out the other side.
Her crimes are your crime.
What's the the Mother Superior's name? I'm sure I would know that. I'm sure I could probably Google that, actually.
I just tried to do that myself. I'm trying. I actually don't know what her name is. Her name's probably mentioned. Probably power
The
down.
DUNE wiki is.
Because it'd be the
No
same
Mother
Mother Superior as it was in the.
Okay, according to the DUNE wiki, Arashika was the Mother Superior for the entirety of the turbulent era, the years of the reign of Emperor Elrud IX and the reigns of Emperors Shaddam IV and Paul Atreides.
Could you fire that name into the Discord so I can tag her with?
Yeah.
I didn't find that when I looked. I just found out what a Reverend Mother Supreme was. Like, that's helpful.
Yeah. I'm sure that's some, Brian Herbert bullshit, but there you go. I have to admit, though, despite it being at least partially based on some of Brian's stuff, I am looking forward to the Bene Gesserit series on HBO. This episode brought to you by whoever the hell it is that owns HBO now.
If only. Imagine the sponsor dollars for that.
You could use the music.
So the Mother Superior Hereshika. Hereshika.
Probably like Time Warner or something, but you never know. It could be like Lockheed Martin or.
I think it's Warner Brothers Discovery now, isn't it? Or something.
It's probably owned by some two-letter investment firm.
Right. BlackRock or something.
Yeah, CNR Investments or something.
Right. Joanna says, well, if the crimes of our foremothers are ours, then I certainly am not the only one on Wallach 9 that could be labeled criminal.
You frustrate that which would save all of humanity. You frustrate everything we've been trying to do for Silvanus. So do not give me that.
I frustrate nothing. I bring you a better alternative.
So what's he here for then? The child looks frozen solid. This is intense. You're kind of scary, but you're auntie scary. So he's kind of used to you by now. These three, holy crap! There's this weight sitting on this poor child. He's trying his best to be brave, but he's a kid. Give him a break.
Yes.
Be glad he isn't crying right now, just out of confusion and fear.
This is Antonio Bellezza, youngest child of Pfalzgrafen Erika Bellezza. She sends him to the Bene Gesserit for training and education with certain conditions. In return, she will allow us to determine the marriage of her heir, Alfonso Bellezza, who will marry as we determine. And if the Mother Superior would do so good as to hear the words of the Reverend Mother of Silvanus, this is an opportunity to accomplish the Sisterhood's goals on Silvanus without raping the planet like a bunch of Harkonnens. Instead, creating a sustainable, long-term increase in sap production. Imagine the alliance of Bellezza and the tribes by marriage.
The soft hand of Silvanus is well known among the Sisterhood. However, for once, perhaps long time, one of you speaks sense. And what are we to do with this one, then?
Raise him, educate him, train him. Hopefully, some of you will even love him. But do not let his genes be passed on.
What foolishness is this? Why would we not pass on his genes? Every path to the Kwisatz Haderach must be found.
I do not think, despite how lovely he is, and I kind of run my hand over his hair, and what a good boy, his genes will lead down that path. Through no fault of his own, he is What's the Bene Gesserit's stance on? Do we consider face dancers human at all, or is the jury out?
It depends on who you're talking to, but the Mother Superior does not like the Bene Talaxu by any stretch.
Right.
But some Reverend Mother, some sisters, like, look, they just have a different. We still hate them for what they did, but some of them don't
Right.
know the truth of what the great crime the Bene Talaxu got away with. Frankly, they broke the Great Convention, and they somehow got away with it.
Right.
Oh, some people
His
are really
ge-
pissed about that. She definitely is, because she knows. For a fact, she knows that.
His genes will be of interest and could make him a valuable agent in future, but only if he is kept intact. It is not required that no gene scans be conducted. It is simply required that he not be allowed to pass on his heritage.
For this, you would secure the sap of Silvanus?
For this, and for the continued prosperity of Silvanus and its people. It is where pragmatism and morality meet, and this is a rare thing.
Just remember, Reverend Mother Silvanus, the humanity comes before all consideration.
Indeed. And Silvanus and its moons are full of humanity.
Give me a communicate roll, difficulty of 2. Although you have a comp range increased by +2, because you've now learned firsthand, Herashika really doesn't like Reverend Mother Silvanus. She never has.
Oh.
And she's trying not to hold that against Johanna, but it's hard not to do that. She's trying to
that's
be
fair.
professional. That's why the difficulty doesn't jump. But it's still like, there's some old grudges. You two have had this argument through your gene memory multiple times.
Fair enough. So, okay, truth, because Joanna really does think this is a better way to achieve the Bene Gesserit's goals when it comes to Silvanus than the proposed.
I would ignore truth, because there's a very particular truth that you aren't revealing that is working against her.
Okay, then duty, because this is definitely in service to both the house and the tribes and the general welfare of folks on Silvanus.
Definitely.
Okay. Can I use neurolinguistics with the Mother Superior?
I wouldn't.
Okay, fair enough.
She might retaliate.
That's fair.
I mean-
That's fair.
You
Okay.
could, but would it work?
Right.
And at what cost?
Difficulty 2. Okay, I really want this deal to be made, so I'm going to give you 6 threat for a full minute.
Yeah.
No focus. I don't think any of my personality traits really come in here, except maybe easy to talk to. But
That'll
doesn't
help
really
you.
help me.
You're a lot easier going than previous Reverend Mother. So.
Here we go.
Or momentum generated. There's always more to Silvanus than you ever let on. But for now, Johanna, we shall see this generation will be one of cooperation rather adversarialism. Yes?
Indeed. Always the sisterhood.
She nods at one of the other sisters and take Tonya away. Who
Joanna will kneel down and cup his face his hands and says, "Go with the sister. Your new life begins today. Serve your house well, and you will hear from me." And I kiss him on the forehead.
He gives you like a quick hug, like he jumps up and gives you.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he.
I hug him tight.
He holds on for a beat longer. The Mother Superior looks irritated that she has other things to do, but she doesn't say. But you can tell she's being a bit of a grouch. Because you're here.
Right.
Eventually, Antonio kind of lets go and kind of straightens out his uniform, kind of stands much like he's seen Erica and Sebastiano stand.
Right.
Very childish attempt, but he's doing his best.
Right.
He nods and walks off into the shadowy halls of Warlock 9 to serve the Benny.
And Joanna will stand up.
Move carefully, Johanna. The fortunes of Silvanus are very competitive, even in the wake of Moritani's foolishness. In time, Carino will look to you. In time, he may decide to frustrate your attempts to make up for previous failing.
Joanna smiles. We play the great game, as always. But we play it for humanity.
Your sake, Johanna, will be best served seeing if Beleza can actually playing the great game instead of a pawn. Bishops and rooks are far more useful to us, after all. Beleza continues to be. She leaves it unsaid. She gives you a look.
Yeah, Joanna raises an eyebrow, but kind of leaves it at that and bows her way out.
As you get back to the Highlander, you have an understanding, you have a reprieve. You're not going to be barked at anymore, but
right.
They're irritated with Beleza in particular. But then again, they're irritated with anyone who isn't helping them directly, because no one on your damn world's been helping them directly this whole time. Maybe Malvolus, but he was more helping the Emperor than he was the Bene Gesserit.
Yep. Which, and I do intend to help them with the sap production. It's just not going to be as quick as they want. You know, I mean, yeah, that I'm all for what they want to do with it, but you know.
Anything Moonshadow or Erica are up to while Johanna makes her return back home?
So from everything we found out, we think that everything the Face Dancer was doing while funded by Ilaka was all primarily in the interest of the Beni Talaxu.
Yeah, it was one of those where hired by Ilaka, and he was going to, fulfill that, but he was really at heart. That was a way for the Beni Talaxu to get him in the position to hopefully figure out what it was going on in the deepest deep. That was his real goal. It's the Beni Talaxu. You can hire all the face dancers you want, but you're never really sure if that's who if they're working for you or you alone.
Then yes, I will author a petition. Actually, no. I am headed to the Lancerod. I'm headed to Kaitan.
Okay.
Because I need to convince the Lancerod to let me do some Conley against. Actually, I don't. Conley is my fallback. My hope is I can get Alaka sanctioned because they didn't declare Conley.
Yeah. see what you're saying. How do you intend to travel to Kaitan?
Uh,
I think you have a wealth asset too, don't you?
I
You got
think I
paid.
have 2 wealth assets almost because Galia has a wealth asset as well because she was paid.
Well, maybe she didn't want to spend it on a trip to Kaitan. You don't know. That's assuming a lot.
You're gonna pay for a Highlander visit with your wealth asset?
Yes.
Yep. What is Moonshadow up to while Erica waits for the Highlander? I will note to you that frequently while you're working at Fortress Landing, Colonel Nightshade glares at you frequently, but never says anything. Not to get in trouble, but there's an obvious enmity he has towards you.
Moonshadow will actually talk to her about it while they're waiting. Because, like, this sort of passive-aggressive, dirty looks stuff. Not Moonshadow's game.
You'll need to give me a communicate difficulty 2 for her to bother staying where you to bother talking to you. She'll just walk off otherwise.
Alright. I'll go with duty because I need to be able to work with servants of the house. Even if they're jerks.
Fair enough.
I will spend 3 momentum. Okay. Not awful.
I gained 1 back. Nightshade, will meet with you within Fortress Land. Where do you want to meet her?
If we have a meeting room somewhere, probably there.
Okay.
Because I don't necessarily want to be perceived as dressing her down.
She meets you in this, in a sort of conference room sort of area, meeting. One hand resting upon the hilt of a weapon she's served, but, you know, not drawing it, just more, but there's an obvious tension to it. She's expecting you to. Marshall, you wish to speak with me?
Yes. Why don't we get it out? Clear the air. What did I do to piss you off?
Your tribes have perverted the will of God for very long time. I don't know if I can trust you. Your loyalty divided. Mine were, I will admit. There is no cult for me to serve. My understanding that the false Graffin, every intention of ensuring the will of God, forced here, not the will of Silvanus. Unless you denounce him as a false god. He was a nice.
Bill will just kind of blink at that for a moment.
Probably the most honest, straightforward cult accusation you've ever heard, aside from the pamphlets they leave out.
How exactly? Because Mill is not one of the elders, so even if there is truth to this, I doubt she'd be in the loop on it.
Ignorance of your tribe's crimes is not an excuse. Your loyalty to the Moon Shadows makes me wonder if at some point your clan mother will frustrate the true lawful rulers of Silvanus. Rather than the
My
petty
people.
chieftains.
My people have been granted standing within the Landsrat. We're as much rulers as others who hold power. By your own laws.
Our laws, you Marshal?
Of course.
She steps forward really close, I would say fairly hostile distance, even across the Imperium. Being within like dagger range of somebody is not the friendliest distance to be with somebody. And you're both armed and well-trained people, so it's an obvious intimidation distance she's standing at. She just kind of glares into your eyes.
Mill will return the glare.
Give me a discipline roll, difficulty of 2. See if you're able
Okay.
to impress Nightshade here. With your own glare.
I'll go with power. There is not duty in this. This is totally Moonshadow rising to a provocation. For better or ill. You can take a threat and I'll spend the remaining 2 momentum just because I want to make sure I make this. And submit. Dang, that was pretty good.
Gain 2 momentum.
Nice.
I don't see the influence of Silvanus in you. You know what I see? Standing in front of me?
What would that be?
A human. I would caution you, Marshal, that there will come a time side between Beleza tribes. Till such time, Falsgraf and Erica III Beleza orders me. I will not kill you. I will not duel you. I will acknowledge that you are in fact a marshal of a lawful house. Know that the chiefs we come from, though shielded by the Emperor, have their own agenda. Marshal. And she actually gives a rather curt salute at you. And doesn't wait for you to respond, she just starts walking off.
Alright.
But you get the feeling that, yeah, she's not going to give you the stink eye anymore. She's seen something in you that makes her not suspect you.
Mill will kind of scoff at her being annoyed that the tribe chieftains have their own agenda because everyone has their own agenda.
Like,
But whatever.
Thanks, Colonel Obvious. I'm glad you informed me.
Yeah. And My loyalties are something for me to worry about if and when it becomes an issue. But hey, at least I probably don't have to worry about her trying to knife me in my sleep anymore.
It's true.
Hopefully.
So, the Face Dancers has faced justice, answers have been found, and some deals have been made for the good of Beleza and hopefully Silvanus, Agrestis, and Salutaris. We shall see what next House Beleza will plan for its future endeavors. For now, everyone watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we'll see you again next time. Bye. Whew, this was a heavy episode. Good go. Good one, though. Good one, though.
Definitely a tense one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely earning the roleplay AP. Sure.
Yay. Go team.
I'm glad you guys didn't fight those assassins. That would have turned like, and you killed Space and Guild agents who were in the wrong place, wrong time. Oops.